They can't keep me down. They cannot, they will not keep me down. It's not happening. Anywho, that's all I wanted to do. No biggie. Fucking YouTube algorithm motherfucker Jack you. What's up, gang? We were all having fun in Susie's channel earlier. Ashley and I decided we wanted to go on. So that's what we're doing. K-Pro put up a new video. I want to review that and kind of live commentate that as well. So I think I'll get that loaded up. What's up, Boo? I can't hear you. You're muted.
I was looking for an extension cord. Turn off the echo.
Turn off the echo.
Oh, the echo. Echo. Hold up. Sorry about that. There we go. Should be good now.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
that should be better. Sounds better.
23-minute video to go over. I have not seen this yet. Have you?
Well, one thing
do you know who you're asking? Of course I haven't seen this video, babe.
You haven't seen shit.
I don't watch shit, you guys. I love you all, but I don't watch shit. In fact, I feel like I'm just newly feeling rejuvenated. I'm just newly back in the chase.
Here's my question, and this isn't me worried about viewers, but it's funny to me. We had like 47 people, and then we got taken down, and then now we only have like 30, 35 with us now. It's like, what happened to the 10 or 12 people? What did they just give up? They didn't give up on us. Come back.
Right.
Hey, do you have like wind cancellation? My God.
Is it really horrible?
It's not horrible, but it's there.
Maybe I should try to find those headphones. We have those headphones upstairs.
Or if you could position the phone in a way where the wind isn't directly hitting the microphone, maybe.
It's Southern California. We're in Codo. It's
Cover it.
splendid weather. The wind is blowing through the palm trees.
Yeah, it's 76 degrees, sunny, and the wind is making the palm trees move. I mean,
is this better? I'm trying to block. Is it better or no?
It is better. It is better. All right, so I'm going to put on K-Pro's video here. We're going to commentate through it. We're going to pause a lot. We're going to give our approval. We're going to give our disapproval, should it be warranted. We're just going to watch this raw and see. We know, you know some things. I know more things. And I know more things than I did a week ago. So things have shifted quite a bit behind the scenes in terms of research. Alliances haven't been formed per se, but enemy lines have been crossed and people are getting along in a way where information is finally being shared, and it has illuminated the problem at hand. So I'm interested in what K-Pro has to show us. I feel as if I know more than what this video has to share. And I'll openly say that we're not holding back for views and clicks. Again, remember what the premise of this fucking channel has been, and ever will be. We won't make a fucking dime. If I somehow miraculously get that olive jar, I'm going to do the same fucking thing. I'm probably going to play an episode of Lost right before we open the olive jar, because that's what I do here. Ashley doesn't fight me on it. She backs me on it. So that's where we're at on this channel. So don't question it. It's always the argument. Well, you do it for views and clicks. I see that on Facebook all the time. That's why I hate Facebook. You're so uninformed. You're the same people who talk about Joe Rogan and you've never seen a single full episode of a Joe Rogan podcast. Don't talk about shit you haven't seen. Sorry. Soapbox done. Anyway, what's up, babe?
I'm here for it. All that you're saying. Also, I'm going to tell you that I need to get a sweater because, you know, even if it is 70 degrees, I'm cold, babe.
You're cold all the time. It's pathetic. It's glorious outside.
I know. I'm pathetic.
Glorious outside. There are people right now in, I don't know, Minnesota, who are in subarctic temperatures, and you're whining about the sun shining on you, and it's not 70. It's like 75 degrees outside.
Yeah, I'm getting my Carhartt jacket.
Right now, it says it's 74. Feels like 74.
I don't make the rules of my body, Ben.
That's pathetic. I just want to be open and honest with everybody. That's pathetic. Did she quit on me? Oh, no, there she is. Okay, she's getting like paused. Babe, I feel like I saw
I'm just getting cozy.
Jesus Christ. It's perfect.
I need a hood.
A chilly 75 degrees. Yeah. It's a chilly 75 in the middle of January. Good grief, Charlie
You guys
Brown.
don't see what else I'm wearing. Maybe I'm just scantily clad and I'm cold.
It doesn't, babe, you could be naked right now. It's 75 and you're in the sun.
I'm in the shade so I can see your face.
Good grief, Charlie Brown.
All right, let's get back to it. I'm super excited to talk about all of the tea. You guys are saying things. You're just getting me back into it. I'm grateful for it. I want to. Huh?
I said it is a tea kind of show, so we're going to open up the phone lines.
Yes, of course it's a tea show. Please call in. Spill the tea. Let's talk about the tea. I'm ready for it. Here I am.
I just got to make my voice window like this. All right. No, you motherfucker. Windows likes to just like jump in and tell me how big I want my window. No, motherfucker. I'm moving the size the way I want it. Don't auto it correct after that, you fuck. All right. Fixed. All right. So what happened today? Susie went live, and while I'm sipping on a brand new 32-ounce Bloody Mary, adjusting my fantasy football lineups, staring at ESPN at the bar outdoors when it was 71, and you were perfectly fine.
Because I was in the sun, scantily clad in the sun.
I get a text saying Susie's live. You're already watching Susie at the bar. I'm like, I thought you were on the phone. You were just doing this, listening to Susie's stream, doing this. I couldn't tell. I didn't know what you were doing. And then you're like, oh yeah, I know. I'm watching Susie. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I look at you in chat and you're just going, listen, Susie, this isn't right. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like this. I don't like that. Fuck you in chat. Fuck you in chat. Hey, Street, what's up, bruh? I live in your head. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, you were all over the place.
But is Street in the chat right now?
Oh, I'm sure he is, whether he admits it or not.
Okay. Hi, Street. Yeah, so I got a notification. I clicked on it because you were in the other area and I was by myself at the bar, and I click on the notification. It's Susie, and I love Susie. What, you were having a ciggy? Yeah.
Yeah, you were in another area.
I know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm drinkies ash right now. So I love Susie. I'm like, let's see what Susie's talking about. And holy shit, was Susie talking. And her and K-Pro were at it. She was commenting about K-Pro's comment. There was vomit emojis. Lots of things were transpiring. I was accused of being a paid actor. Again, let me tell you guys, do you see my wrinkles? Because if I was a paid actor, I wouldn't have these fucking wrinkles. Just saying. So it was fun to get into that conversation. Again, I'm enjoying the chase right now. Because let me tell you why. In this moment, as you know, Ben, of course, you're my love. You live with me. But as you, the royal you in the chat now, we have 5 children. I'm raising teenagers, and I'm teaching my teenagers these same things. I'm saying the same thing that I feel like I'm saying in the chat room. So I've now realized that when I tell my teenagers, hey, it gets better, like, I'm a fucking liar. Because the stuff that's going on right now in the chase, same shit that happened in high school in 2001, same shit that's happening in the local OC high schools of 2022. So, whatever, I'm here for it. I'm a pro at this. I feel like this is my time to shine. I feel like I've dealt with mean girls. I feel like the whole clique of all, like, I feel like I have something to say now. And I want to invite Street from the kids table to join the teen table.
No. You're at the kids' table. He's at the adult.
That's right. That's right. I'm at the kids' table. Okay.
He said,
right.
Ashley, stay at the children's table where you belong, is I believe what it was.
Yeah, I belong at it. I belong at the children's table. Oh, who's calling?
I don't know this area code.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send
I didn't hear that.
voicemail,
Hold on.
press
I didn't hear either.
Who is this?
It's Jack.
Oh, it's Jack. Okay, good. Oh, great. We have Jack on the phone. Finally, thank you, Jack, for calling in to the Treasure Warriors show. We're honored to have you. How did you hack Fenn, and when did you do it?
Well, actually, it's not Jack. I can't lie.
Come on. I hoped you would at least been like, well, Fenn was looking at some porn the other day, and I sent him a link. All right, so who is this? Who we got?
Who do you think it is?
I don't know. I see. I mean, I know the area code, but I don't like to. I won't share it unless the person calling shares it. So, who is it? I think your name starts with a P.
Correct.
I think your last name starts with an A.
Correct.
Oh, okay. What's up, Paul?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Just living the life, man.
I just got back from shooting, and I thought I'd give you a call.
You got back
shooting? What were you shooting? Were you at the shooting range?
No, out here we don't have ranges. We just have property.
That's right.
That's a lot easier.
I lived in Texas. Listen, I lived in Texas long enough that I was considered a Texan. So I feel you. I used to shoot at the doves out on the line right behind my house over the pond as soon as dove season started.
My grandpa. Yeah.
My
favorite shooting is dove hunting. I love that. That's a good time.
Yep, dove hunting is where it's at in Texas. Let me tell you, us as wives, like we plan our whole week and weekend around dove hunting for the men in our lives.
Doves are like lovely creatures. They're supposed to bring.
Well, that's why the dove was in Ford's book. He loved to shoot doves. He just didn't say it.
So my grandpa, they lived in a town called Cedar Edge in Colorado, and it was property. They would just shoot on their property, right? There's no need to go to range. Every time we would go there for Christmas, he would hand draw, and it was a Democrat, and I can't remember what his fucking name was. I feel like he was either like Speaker of the House at one point, or it was like Al Gore, or it was someone like stupid. And he would hand draw him into basically a target, and they would all go outside and just take turns shooting. And I would just like, when the documentary's made, when you all guys are fucking convicted assassins, we're going to know why.
No, because doves are the country pigeon. Someone said it in chat, and that is accurate. When you've lived in the country. Yes, when you've lived in the country. Dove hunting season, Ben, is a big fucking deal. Like, it's a rite of passage.
Paul, agree with me here. You need to give guns to New Yorkers and have them go pigeon hunting. Everybody would be happier.
They would. Yeah. New Yorkers wouldn't know which way to point it.
They'd kill each other.
A lot of crossfire. I would agree.
I would say if we were to do that, I would request that we.
Bavetta asks that. Bavetta wants to know if you eat the dove.
If what, you eat the dove?
Eat the dove. I'll tell you how it goes. They take them, you brush them out, and then you cut them open. You stuff a jalapeno in them with cream cheese, wrap them with bacon, put them on the barbecue. And then put barbecue sauce with honey on them, and my gosh, they're awesome.
So hold on. Let me recap. You need to add cream cheese, which is delicious. You need to add bacon, which is delicious. What do you do at the end there? You do some
jalapeno, baby.
Jalapenos, which are great, and then what else?
And then grill it up. Big grill it.
Hey, why don't you just do that with chicken?
No, Paul. What about deer meat? Are you a deer hunter? Do you eat deer meat?
I would assume he eats venison. Or is in venison deer meat? I don't know. I'm not a hunter. I don't fucking know.
Having
love
some
it.
mean
kinda like
fucking deer
California.
tacos.
Hey, I'm an outdoorsman, but I'm not a hunter. I've never shot a gun in my life. Not because I'm against it. I've just never come into the opportunity to ever fire a gun.
And then there's me, who was coyote hunting when the coyotes of Texas were murdering my fucking chickens one by one every night, and I was running out in my bathrobe to the
I've
screams
shot
of
my
dead
air rifle.
chickens.
I've shot that air sniper rifle at coyotes outside our house. Does that count?
Yes, you did. Yes, and I need you to get more comfortable with that, because at some point I'm gonna have chickens.
Paul, this BB gun is very powerful. Ashley, can you not attest? It's the closest thing under a gun, right? I mean, my God. It shoots at, what was it? 1,500 feet per second? I can defend my family with this thing. If I shot you directly in your eyeball with this thing, you will be in a lot of pain.
Yes, you need to be a pro at this so you can defend the chickens. Because let me tell you something. When I have hens and a flock of chickens, I'm very serious about it. I'm a chicken owner that sings to the chickens. I come out, I give them breakfast. I make them soup when it's cold outside.
How about this?
Okay, wait,
hold on. Bavetta asks, do you eat the coyotes?
I got a great idea.
What's the idea?
What?
There's World Series of Fenn, okay?
Yeah.
How about World Series of Paintball?
Ooh.
We could all get together and have a paintball competition. That would be fun.
Yo,
I'd smoke your asses.
If someone finds an official paintball course in Vegas for like Sunday afternoon, for like early afternoon, like at noon or something, I would be totally in. We're not flying out till Sunday night anyway, so if we can coordinate that for fucking Sunday, I'm in.
Oh, I'm down to shoot you with a paintball gun, Ben.
Awesome. If you put that together, I might even come out.
Honestly, I'll look into it when I land. Like, I know a couple people still who, I mean, I lived there for like a decade, but like, there's some people who still live there. If there's a cool paintball course and we can get in quick and it's on the cheap, I would gladly do that.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun. It really would be. That'd be
so
fun.
We could take our aggressions. We could take our aggressions out on each other.
Right.
If we have any.
You get a couple of bruises from the paintball, like if you get shot like directly, like from 15 feet, like it's so big.
It feels good. It's kind of like a tattoo, you know. The pain is good.
Okay. So that's you. Some people say that feels good. Some people don't like it.
Okay, that's just me. I had a tattoo and felt no pain. I enjoyed it.
Anything else topic-wise, Paul?
Well, ask me some Fenn questions. I mean, while I'm on the phone, I can tell you a lot of stuff.
Well, I mean, you know me. I capped this shit. Like 5 more minutes. What else?
Okay.
Give me the best topic to talk about right now that no one's talking about.
Did Forrest Fenn commit suicide?
Ooh. That's a good controversial topic. I myself have shied away from it, to be honest. All right, that's fair enough.
I'll definitely talk.
All right, what do you think?
But Paul, yeah, what's your opinion on this, Paul?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. The timing on everything. Let me just give you a famous quote. There's no conspiracies, but there's also no coincidences.
That's interesting.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so it's not a conspiracy about him, but the day it happened, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, you know, it was right after the Fenn finale and all that stuff. The day it happened on, September 7th, I believe, which is that like Memorial Day or something like that. It just doesn't line up for me. All right.
Ash?
All right, so what you're saying is you think that, okay, I've thought about this. Is it possible in this day and age to commit suicide, honestly, the way that Fenn would have had to have done it? Like, is it possible to find, okay.
He would take a bunch of pills. He said he would swallow a bunch of pills, right? Like his dad did.
But swallow a bunch of pills and then die where the treasure was? Or did he die in his home?
Sorry, Paul.
Say that again.
You, Ashley, go, then Paul.
Okay, Paul, I'm wondering, let's say he commits suicide, swallows a bunch of pills. Is he doing it in Forrest's mind, when he plans this, is he doing this just at home? Or is he going to the place where the treasure was and he's committing suicide there?
Oh,
He did it his own way. He did it his own way.
okay. So he did it in his home.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna leave Peggy.
He wasn't gonna leave Peggy, so he did it at home. Got it. That makes sense. As a theory goes, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now,
I don't know for sure, but I will say this: that there are some people that think that he's still alive.
I know there's people that think he's still alive. That one is less appealing to me, only because if you're gonna do something like that, in my opinion, I'm just thinking, maybe I gotta mute you. If you're gonna do something like that, I feel as if you do that right after you write the first book. When you're 80, you still have a decade to go, or no one knows how much time they have left. But to fake your death at 90, ugh. To fake your death at 80, I mean, it's still ugh. But you fake your death right when you write the book, you make mystery out of it. Okay, sure. But to fake your death now at 90, for what? To come back at 91 or 92? But what if you pass at 90 and a half? And you can't fulfill this. There's no promise of your next day at 90, right?
Well, let me ask you this. When he closed his tackle box, who was waiting for who?
Well, I always thought, and I think even the family, and I have no knowledge of this, I'm just saying out loud, but I always thought, just based on everything of what I was hearing of medical stuff, and this stuff I had no right to know, but this is just what happens in the chase when you go public. It felt like Peggy was going to go first, and she'd be waiting for Forrest. But now it feels like, it was Forrest waiting for Peggy.
So what did he say in the book exactly? Who was waiting for who?
In what circumstance? Just over, it felt like Peggy always waits for him.
In the thrill of the chase, he said, when I closed my tackle box, he said something along the lines of somebody was waiting for somebody else. Clarify that.
I don't know. I don't know the line directly right now. I'd have to literally look at the line. Hold on.
I sure as shit don't know the line, so please just tell me it.
I mean, I feel like I know what he's talking about, but let me just, it's at the end of the book, right?
Yeah.
And I closed the tackle box for the last time. Hold on. So it's not, is it on the last page? Where is it? No, it's where the fuck where does he say I closed the goddamn tackle box? Where, Paul, I can't find it, dude. Where is it?
I don't have the book right now.
I know the line.
I think he said that Peggy would be waiting for me.
I think so too. Peggy would be waiting for
Flywater. Alan says Flywater. You will be there waiting for me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Flywater, she'll be there waiting for him. But that does, yeah. Well, you know what that implies? You know what that implies? That implies that no matter who dies first, she's still waiting for him. So it implies that Forrest has some kind of afterlife journey he is at least anticipating that will delay him going to wherever Peggy will be. Am I fair in that interpretation?
That was my next question. Where's he waiting?
It sounds like maybe he has a journey to purgatory he thinks he has to take or something like that. I don't know. We're getting way too... I don't know the man's thinking when it comes to that. I think that's very intimate writing that only he really understands. Maybe Peggy.
Well, we dissect everything. I think some of this stuff is a lot more pertinent than a lot of other things. Like where Jack went to Walmart, I don't think that's real pertinent.
But see, I find it all pertinent, man. I really do. Here's why. If Jack is hired by the Fenn family or Forrest himself to be like a fake solver, right? Okay, fine. Then that means they're behind Jack. And that means anything of Jack's story, I need to know because the Fenns are behind it, and that's how we uncover shit. So whether we believe in Jack or don't believe in Jack, uncovering the truth behind Jack reveals the larger truth. The man got pictures with Fenn. So if Jack is fake, Fenn is in on it with him, right?
Well, of course.
Okay, so then it's worthy of investigation.
There's no way that Forrest Fenn was going to let this dwindle out the way it did. There's got to be a bigger surprise at the end of the tunnel.
I agree, but yet what are we at? We're at January 2022. The chest was found June 2020. We haven't heard shit. what's going
About
on.
what?
About anything.
So what are we doing?
I don't know. Here's what we're doing. We're uncovering the fact that the end doesn't make sense any which way you slice it if you investigate any direction. Even if you go in wanting to prove that Jack found it, you come out the other side, as long as you're 50-50 non-biased, you come out the other side going, I don't have proof Jack found it. And when you go down the rabbit hole of trying to prove Jack is a conspiracy, you should be coming out the other side going, I can't prove that either. But there's fucking red flags everywhere.
Well, maybe Forrest is trying to get somebody to prove all of this, and that's the person.
That's possibly something that's going on too. If Jack is phony and Jack is hired by Fenn, again, I don't know how that logistically would wind up, but I could see the mystique and a story behind that. If that's the case, then yeah, it's supposed to be uncovered, which is why we're doing what we're doing. Either way, we get to the truth by figuring out if Jack is telling the truth. If Jack isn't telling the truth, the further we investigate, the more we'll uncover. It's that simple. I was against the idea that Jack could even hack Fenn, and now I'm the one fucking pushing the idea.
Why were you against the idea?
Interesting, because everybody is looking for the truth, and there's all these ideas and everything, and Forrest loves his mother and stuff like that. And we talk about falling trees. He even said something in one of his scrapbooks about a big pine tree that fell down. He even said something like, "Did that pine tree fall over in West Fork?"
Right.
And West Fork is a campground where Forrest and his mother died, which I've been to many times. I know all the people that own it and everything. And no one talks about that. They want to talk about some tree that fell over in, 9 Mile Hole, which we know is not the location.
I don't know about that. I disagree with you. I think it might be. Or at least it's being pushed as the location. And if it's being pushed as the location and isn't, then even then there's a reason why they would push 9 Mile as the location. I'm waiting to see if the video is real or not.
Well, I'll say this. I don't think it's the actual 9 Mile Hole, but I think that if it is in that particular area, there's a perfect solve down the road that lines right up with it.
I think there is. Mine. My solve is
I'm sorry, but
is a quarter.
The 9 Mile Hole. The 9 Mile Hole location has no Homer Brown.
My
7 Mile.
My 9 Mile Hole. Hold on. My solve isn't 9 Mile Hole. My solve is south or east of 9 Mile Hole at Mount Haynes Overlook at the put-in where there's actually a fucking dock there. That's my solve. So it's not 9 Mile. It's closer to, I guess, 7 Mile? Or is it 11 Mile? No, it's closer to 11 Mile.
What?
Mount Haynes Overlook.
No, it's 7 Mile Bridge.
See, I think it's Mount Haynes.
Look,
7 Mile Bridge is where I think Lily
listen.
wrote, or Fenn and his mother Lily, and there's all sorts of that storyline going there. But there's no Home of Brown solve there either. At least at Mount Haynes, I got a Home of Brown.
Wait a minute.
I got a Home of Brown at Mount Haynes.
There's a perfect Homer Brown at 7 Mile Bridge. What are you talking about?
What's your Home of Brown at 7 Mile Bridge?
Okay, get this. The Madison River is a breeding ground for brown trout. Okay, It's not. It's not the lake. The trout don't breed in the lake. They lay their eggs in the river.
Right.
And where you have your babies is where your home is.
Correct.
So the Madison River in whole is the home of brown because that is their home. You can actually go on to Trouts Unlimited and they actually say the brown trout, their home is in the river. So it's a home of brown. Okay?
That's fair.
So with that, if you go with that logic, then if you're going down the road from the Madison Junction, it's too far to walk, and you put in below the home of brown, as you're going down the road towards the 7 Mile turn-in park, the river's on your left side. As soon as you go over the 7 Mile Bridge, the river's on the right side, which is north. You're putting in below the home of brown by map. Okay. Also, you pulled into a picnic ground where you can rest. Didn't he say to bring a sandwich?
Sure.
And leave your partner in the car because you can't leave your car there unattended.
Okay, that all sounds good.
I think that sounds fine.
Okay, wait a minute. And then you put him below the home brown. From there, it's no place for the meek. Okay, so you've been in your comfortable car. Now you have to get out of your car and cross the road. Let's go back to the thrill of the chase, the biddies. They made fun of him for not crossing the road. Okay, you have to cross the road to go into where you need to go. It's no place for the meek.
Well, that's where I disagree with you on that one completely.
Then tell me.
I think no place
What's
for
the
the
disagreement?
I think no place for the meek was for me was always going to be crossing the river. I'm with you for everything else, which is why.
Wait. Why would you say that when the chapter of biddies is all about crossing their road?
I understand that biddies is all about crossing the road. I believe that I believe a road crossing is what confused people into railroad tracks and other methods of crossing. I think the whole point was just about crossing.
No, if you go, there's a subtle hint in the book.
Sure.
The subtle hint in the biddies was to cross the road. Why would he even put that in the book?
Again, but fine. But again, let's stick with the poem for a second instead. Show me.
Okay.
Look at the screen I have on right now.
Got it.
Show me another put-in on the Madison River. This is
not a put-in.
This is a put-in. It's a literal fucking dock.
No, it's not a put-in. That's a tourist trap.
Oh my goodness.
That's where people stand and take photos. They're not going anywhere.
Right. You mean to say people
but
are
any
within
kind of place where you stop and park is a put-in.
Right. Well, hold on. You can stop and park right here. This is a put-in. But Paul says it's a tourist trap. What I'm saying is people have been within 200 feet of the treasure and didn't know it. Yeah, because it's a tourist trap right here. You have to cross the river.
Okay, wait a minute. That thing you're pointing at right now, a put-in for what? To push your wife off the edge, or what are you talking about?
Hypothetically, you could, if you were rafting it.
You can't raft it.
I know. That's the glorious nature of the whole idea of put-in. My concept, and this is, I'm being real here. My idea of put in below the home of Brown, the whole line is a joke. Once you understand that home of Brown is a joke, then put-in is also a joke. This looks like a put-in, but it isn't actually a put-in. Home of Brown was a joke to me because of Brown stain on his underwear, Hanes underwear, Mount Hanes. I mean, it's a very stupid, rudimentary joke, but that's where I go. Honestly, the reason I took that route is because every other home of Brown wasn't working. People came up with Brown Trout as home of Brown many times. People came up with all sorts of home of Browns. Nothing was working. So I figured home of Brown, it has to be a joke. And that's the riddle. And if it's a joke, there should be a clue in the book. Well, lo and behold, Fenn says his fucking underpants were a rusty brown color. And I got a whole mountain that matches the name of an underpant. And there's actually a put in there. And lo and behold, 150 feet across that river is a fallen tree. A giant fallen tree. I still believe my solve is the right one.
There's a fallen tree off a 7 Mile bridge that's so perfect, you wouldn't believe it.
More perfect than mine? Come on. Have you seen mine?
Oh, my God.
Mine stands out. Listen. I might not be right,
wait.
but my tree stands the fuck out. Hold on. Let me show you. Come on. That's what it looks like from across the fucking river. Look at that. You see that?
I've been there many times.
That's gigantic.
And by the way, the Homer Brown, well, you have a Homer Brown. Yeah, I see that. Look.
And then it looks like this on the other side. Hold on. Let's just show you what they look.
Also, Forrest, when he took his last drift down the Madison River, remember the 10 Mile drift? He put in by the 7 Mile bridge, by the way.
I agree. I know that. Yes, I agree. I think all those lead you.
Okay.
I think all those lead you down the river still. I think 7 Mile was the distraction. There's a lot of good stories that line up with 7 Mile. I just don't see the poem taking you to 7 Mile.
In the last questions by, who is that? Jenny, I think is her name. They talked about the number 7 quite a bit.
Yeah, but they talk about 9 quite a bit. I mean, there's 9 clues, 9 Mile. It kind of, has a little bit of a ring to it, doesn't it?
I am not at all saying this solve is right, but it's a whole lot better than a lot of them.
Hey, listen,
And
I also don't like the
look,
9 Mile solve.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just going off of what is
Yeah,
real.
that's fair.
You know,
That's fair. No. And let me also get on record. If 9 Mile is the solve, I don't like it. I don't like the poem. I think this was overhyped, overblown, and it was something we didn't think it would be. And if that's fine, that's how these things end up. But like, if it turns out to be, I'm not pushing it because I like 9 Mile. That's not my solve. I thought 9 Mile was a spot in the poem where you get stuck. That's what I thought it was. I thought there's an oil tree at 9 Mile with the letters OIL. I thought that was made by Fenn, and it was to tell you you're on a Wizard of Oz solve and you got stuck.
Where is oil tree in the poem?
Let me tell you. The whole entire concept of the first part of the solve, begin at where Warm Waters halt, is you begin it on the yellow brick road, and that's the hint is given to you from Marvel Gaze. Professor Marvel, Dorothy and Professor Marvel gaze at the crystal ball. Professor Marvel tells you yellow. If you believe the Wizard of Oz solve, it says, well, then you begin it on the yellow brick road. You begin it in Yellowstone. Yellow brick, Yellowstone.
Okay. I have to go here in a second. So let me just go over one more thing while I'm on the phone. Another thing that people overlook is the fact that everybody's so focused on the 9 clues. What about the last 2 stanzas of the poem? People don't talk about that.
No, I agree. They mean something.
Well, what do you think that is? I know what it is.
Personally, I won't say exactly what I think they mean. I think they're just I think they work as confirmers to your location as an overall concept.
Well, you know, he goes through everything. We know the last clue is, you know, look down your quest to seek or whatever. Right. He said that is the last clue because you found it. Take the test and go in peace.
Right.
You got it. So why does the poem go on and say, so why is it that I must go and leave my trove for all to seek?
Let me answer that.
The answers I only know. I've been tired and now I'm weak. And then he goes on to saying, so hear me all and listen good. Now, you know, Forrest, when he says listen good, he's saying disregard everything that just happened because now I'm talking to you seriously. Listen to me. Listen good. Your effort will be worth the cold. If you're brave and in the wood, I'll give you title to the gold. Now, why would you have to give title to the gold when you've already taken the chest and left with it? You already have it. So there's 2 situations here. And we're not even sure who's talking, to be honest with you.
But here, could you take it as a possible, let's pretend that last stanza is Forrest sitting on your shoulder as you have the chest. And let's pretend the solve is at 9 Mile. Okay. We both don't like 9 Mile on the record. Okay. But let's pretend the solve is at 9 Mile. So you take the chest and you're going in peace. Now, why can't Forrest do it again? Because it is the Madison River. He can't do it anymore because he's 80 years old. It was always the Madison River. Begin it, the Madison River, where Warm Waters halt, and take it, the Madison River, the canyon down. It was always the Madison River. So he can't do the Madison River anymore because he's tired. He's done it twice now to deliver the treasure and deliver the chest. He can't do it a fucking 3rd time. He's done. Your effort will be worth the cold because you're taking the treasure across back over the Madison River to your car.
I think he's passing something on.
I think title to the gold just means you don't win this treasure hunt if you've found the chest. You have to take the chest out of the national park and break the law to win the game. Okay, and Ashley's...
I got to run here, but I want to say another thing. You want to have a good show?
Sure.
I'm going to put this out there.
Okay.
I would love to come on with Matt, Smell the Sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
Have a conversation.
Sure.
And have a conversation. I have a lot to say.
If Matt would, I would gladly have Matt on. That'd be dope. We'll see what happens.
Me, you, and Matt.
I'm in. Whatever it takes.
If Matt would do that. Because I have a lot of insight on all that. More than you would ever believe.
All right, Paul. I'll let you go over the time limit. I'm going to let you go, man. Appreciate it.
Keep that in consideration.
I will, dude, for sure.
All right, dude.
I'm in.
Talk to you. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Bye bye.
Boo-doo-doo. Ooh, we get text message on this thing too, huh? From random numbers. I don't know who that one message is. Send me another. Ooh, someone sent me an image. Right side of the chest is clearly visible in Jack Gets Mail 3 article. Right side of the chest. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Open image, new tab. Hold on. Yeah, see? What the fuck? Both fucking ladders go to the... None of the ladders go to the middle of this chest! Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, son of a bitch. Hold on. I can't hear you.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about Robux.
God damn it. Yo. Oh, son of a bitch. Hey, someone... Oh, son of a bitch. Jack Gets Mail 3. All right. Medium. Son of a bitch.
What's going on?
Oh, son of a bitch. Do you know my remember my argument? Both sides of the chest would be symmetrical versus so like one of the images of the chest shows the ladder going to the middle. And the argument is, well, that's just one side. The other side obviously just goes like goes to the middle or goes like they were just. I'm like, no, it's going to be symmetrical. The fucking ladders go to the side. On this image, the ladders are going to go to the side on the fucking other side of the chest. And that was like something I guess I haven't proved yet. I was trying to prove it, but now I'm seeing. Here it is, right here. But a bing, but a fucking boom, but a motherfucking bing bang bong. Open image in new tab. Look at that side, the other side of the chest. The ladder is going to the middle here, and then the ladder is going to the fucking edge. Like this. Both sides go like this. Except. See that right there? Open image in new tab. They go to the middle here. So if they're going to the middle here, and then they're just going to the side here, it's not symmetrical, where in other images it is. What the fuck is going on? It's two different chests. Da, 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 da.
I don't know why I'm not as intrigued by the actual chest being different.
You never cared about the chest, boo.
I know I didn't. You're right. I don't give two shits.
Look at this image. They go to the side, right? Look at this image. They go to the side. No matter what fucking version of this chest, the side photos go to the side.
What if they were taken with Snapchat filters? That always fucks things up.
Hold on, we're getting a phone call.
Yay.
Call from
Galaxy was right.
What's up?
Oh, hi, Fran.
What's up, Candy? What's going on here?
What's up, girl? How you doing, girl?
Galaxy was right, doesn't it?
We got two different chests, ladies and gentlemen. It's fucking solid.
I told you. Galaxy told you.
This is not good. This is not good. This is not good.
Well, I will tell you this, Ben. We know that Fenn cast his own replica of the text. We don't know if it was like, okay, so there's so many different variations you can pick from, but you get the Detroit Museum one, right? That's the only other one we've ever found that's a match or a similar match to Fenn's chest, right?
Right.
So Smell of Sunshine Matt was the first person to find the damn thing, which is another sus thing for me, in my opinion. But okay, so there's two options, in my opinion, that Fenn could have done. He reached out to his museum friend, wanted to purchase the chest. They wouldn't let him, so instead of giving him to borrow the chest, he ended up casting a replica and then giving the replica back to the Detroit Museum and kept the real thing. Or he cast the replica in order for when it was found, either to be a proxy or when the real chest was returned back to him, he gives the proxy because he's meant to take his bones, with Peggy's bones, to the final place in that reliquary chest, because that chest, the original, has a very, very, very important relic from a saint in that.
Look,
that pertains to all that other research I talked about.
I agree.
So
Hold on. Stop. Everybody agree. Some people, the people who agree with you right now, but hold on. Bavetta's going, there's nothing here. The chest is consistent. Some of the images were flipped. I understand some of the images were flipped, but again, look at the image here. This is from the video. We've seen images now consistent from both sides. Go back to the Jack Stu photo. This isn't a flipped image, man. The ladders don't point directly to the middle. The ladders point to the fucking edges.
And before anyone says, oh, the grain and the wood matches, Fenn was aware of that stuff because it's a single piece pipe. So if they really wanted to make it seem like it was the same exact chest, they would hire someone or be able to do it themselves and make it look exactly like the other wood engraving.
I don't know. This is very strange to me.
You're like, you're broken.
Yeah, okay, but like Candy, even if there's a second, if that's all true and there's a second chest, what do you make of that? What then?
So, like I said, either it was used for proxy or it's used for when the chest was returned to him. He gave okay. So remember this. Cynthia said that Forrest said Jack came in with the chest or something, right? And then Fenn took the chest and then came back and handed it right to Jack. Why did he have to leave the room?
So you're saying that he swapped the chests?
I think it's possible because when it comes down to it, the ending, Fenn and Peggy's bones were meant to reside in the original reliquary chest. That's the whole point of a reliquary chest. The replica, I mean, you could pull it off of the replica because it's based off your belief, but if he was that superstitious in that connected to the reliquary chest, it would have had to have been the original.
Wait. So are you saying that Fenn put the original out or the replica out? He wanted to have the original to die with, the reliquary chest. Is that what you're saying? So that Jack possibly has the replica or vice versa?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. So like either the replica chest was out somewhere and then because you had to tell Forrest you found it, then you got the gold or something, right? Or it's because the actual chest was out there, with the gold, and you had to tell him and return it so that he could give you title. But when he did that, he swapped it with the replica so that he would have the original. Does that make sense?
It's very interesting.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've been talking about reliquary research for years, and what I'm telling you is with reliquary chests, they are made specifically for people who are wanting to pass on and skip purgatory. And
do we have any extra information about Forrest's death?
Yes,
what?
Don't go there.
Okay.
Don't go there. It's part of the research.
I will say, here's the problem I have. I don't have an original photo of the other side of the chest. Why is that? Bavetta's right. It's still just the flipped image. I'm just getting another fucking image. It's just confusing me again. I don't.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying about like Snapchat filters and reverse images, and taking selfies versus regular photos.
Do you see where my mouse is circling right now?
No, I don't.
Okay, shit. No, you don't. Okay, hold on. Okay, right here. Do you see this?
Yeah.
Why can we never see this side of the chest before the chest was found? In every presentation of the chest, this side is covered up. I will say that's the case. This image shows the ladders, again, going to the sides. Fine. The argument is it's not symmetrical. They're saying the ladders will go to the middle on the side we can't see. Fair, fine. Why can I never see this side in a pre-fine chest photo?
I mean, one could argue that from a photography standpoint, that is not the correct angle that anyone will be interested in. So if it was only hypothetically for press or newspapers or the book, okay, this is the best angle to shoot the chest from. But yes, I see your point. I've always been curious as to why we don't have all angles of the chest. I think even finding the chest, would you not photograph it from all angles? I think in hiding a chest, would you not photograph it from all angles? So yes, I think it's very suspect.
Well, Jack allegedly only has 3 photos of this chest.
Which I think is asinine and ridiculous.
And people ask us why we're questioning. Come on. Anybody who found this chest would have taken 75 fucking hundred photos with this thing.
It's like, you know what it's like, Ben? It's like we get married and then we only have 3 photos from the wedding.
Right. Like, what? Come on. Who are you fooling?
It would never happen. Like, I'm telling you, it would never happen. We would only take 3 photos from our wedding. It would never happen that Jack would only take 3 photos of the chest.
What time of the day?
I am
what time
sorry.
of the day did Jack find the chest?
I think that Jack has multiple selfies. He's from a generation of selfie taking, photo taking people.
What time of the day is it now then?
Are you asking me a literal? Well done. Candy hates you now. She's like, screw you, Ben. You do this to me all of the time. Welcome to Living with Ben, Candy.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Forest Frenzy.
Have you tried going to the Detroit Museum and looking at the images from that chest and comparing it to the other ones?
Well, we can do nothing until we get the other side of this chest. I need an image of
I'm
this.
just saying, from what you have, they have all angles at the Detroit Museum. So
but the Detroit Museum one doesn't matter to me because it's the one that Fenn fucking hid that matters to me. I don't care. Maybe the one that he hid is the replica and it's bullshit. I don't know.
Do you not understand the Detroit Museum one is very eerily similar to Forrest's original one?
Of course! But if Forrest is going to make...
at it.
Candy, you don't understand. I'm making your point for you. If Forrest is going to make a replica, there will be differences. So looking at the Detroit one means nothing to me. I need to see the one that Forrest did.
Made that Detroit one and kept the original.
I need to see Forrest. With even if I look at the Detroit one, it doesn't give me anything without seeing all sides of the original Forrest chest. That's what I need to see. Pre 2019-20.
All right, Alan made a comment, and maybe it's a question, maybe it's not. Forrest said he acquired the chest from a museum director, and it was perfect for what he wanted. But he also filled it with most of the treasures in like 6 months. It's hard to tell what's important. So are you saying that he didn't have the treasures or the idea of what he wanted when he acquired this quote-unquote perfect chest? Is 6 months too quick for you? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that the chest was funny business or what he put in the chest was funny business?
Forrest originally went to Rick Kowalski for the chest. And he couldn't make it happen, so then he went to his other friend.
I will say that chest always looks like max 2/3 full.
Right?
But again, look at the coloration of this. I will say it does look like the upper ½ inch of this chest has been in the sun longer than the rest. That does match Jack's description of the chest. This does imply that the lid portion of the chest was the portion most visible, and that most of this chest was in the dirt. Just on these photos.
That's interesting.
See, now look. The bottom half looks much more, it's not fully bronze anymore.
You
but
guys are forgetting that personal friends close to Forrest have personally said that Forrest made fake paintings. Like, he could recreate fake masterpieces. What do you think he could do with a fake chest?
Of course, he could cast one. That's what I'm saying. I need to see which
And
one.
I'm telling you,
I need
Forrest did. He
I
cast that
need-
fucking-
But we can't just say it. I need to see all photo angles of the original chest. If there aren't any of all angles, then that is fuel to the fire that there's something nefarious going on with that. I agree. But again, we can't just jump to it, though.
I don't think we can.
All signs point to what you're saying is yes, but we just don't know. And that's the problem.
Most importantly, is Street in this chat right now?
Is who? Is Street? Yes.
Street.
Where you at, playa? Mr. Ashley should sit at the children's table.
Come on, Street.
Get over here! Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh no. Can everyone
You
just stop
underestimate my
fighting?
power.
What? Sorry, what?
Can everyone just stop fighting in the community?
I don't know why I had that one saved.
You are so weird, Ben.
You are fake news.
How about that?
I'm a paid actor. Do you have one that says I'm a paid actor?
I wish.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Hey, Ashley.
Hello there.
Hey, so I
Hello
wanted to bring
there.
something up, and I think you skipped it earlier.
Yeah, go.
So you know how Cynthia was talking about Fenn basically told her about the fishing line?
Right.
Well, essentially what it is like, one, I looked at how many times Fenn said lure. And also, if we're meant to figure out the clues and that will lead to the end of his rainbow and the treasure, isn't it safe to say that it was proven that the end of his rainbow was the Ark of Rod said in Flywater?
Fuck yeah, it does. What do you think I've been saying?
So,
How many
by
times
that
have I taken this
concept-
book out and shown you guys the fucking Ark Rainbow is on the Madison?
No, we've done that. Like, it's been done lots of times, but my point is this.
Do you recall what page? Do you
Rod
recall
is
what page?
rainbow.
Candy, you'll get this too. You'll get it right if you think really hard. What page was this answer on in Flywater? Hold on. Take your time. Think this through because I think you'll get it.
Don't talk to me like I'm an idiot.
No, you're not. What page was this on?
I don't fucking know what you're even asking me right now.
The Ark of Rod. What page?
I don't know what question you're trying to ask me. But what I'm trying to say.
What page was the Ark of Rod on?
I don't see what you're showing on screen because I'm not looking at the video.
Page 23. That's all. Page 23, shout out. All the 23 lovers.
I don't.
It's funny that the page 23 in Flywater is exactly your point. I'm just pointing out that it's 23. Like Davia would love the shit out of that.
I'm not really one for numbers.
You're not. I know. Do you know what my name was on Thor? Searcher.
Nope.
Searcher 2342. Davio should love the shit out of me.
Was that in lieu of Jack Stoof or after?
No, it was. I had. No. This was my screen name on Thor when I was still a lurker, but I decided to finally make a screen name, and I'm pretty sure that was after Jack found it. So it was probably after Jack found it, but I was convinced the numbers 23 and 42 had something to do with the solve.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
42 is the answer to life. So there's that.
Right. But you know what? Most of it was just based on the TV show Lost. And again, I say, if you're bored and you and DJ have nothing to watch, go to Hulu, pop on Lost, love life.
He will never watch that.
Watch it on your own then. Watch it on your own and love it on your own. It will be your own special thing, and you will fucking
Well,
love
I
it.
already know the whole concept.
No,
of
you don't.
storylines,
No,
so
you
I'm kinda,
don't.
like,
No,
going
you
to
don't.
take-
No, you fucking don't. The internet is wrong on Lost. I've had this conversation too many times. Think of it like this. It's like you talking about Fenn to somebody who's never heard about Fenn, but hears, oh yeah, wasn't it just some grave robber who never hid a treasure? And you're like, oh, motherfucker, you don't know shit. Like, that's what this is. Like, trust me, what you've heard about Lost on the internet is incorrect. 99 times out of 100. It's the most understood show on television. I will die on my reputation for that. It is very good. If you
Your
watch it the whole way
passion for
through.
that show is kind of concerning.
Honestly, I understand that. It is. It's a little strange, but it's the best show written of all time. If you follow it with every episode, and I'm not talking to you right now, but I am talking to the community who started to watch this show at the dawn and age of cell phones. And if you started looking at your cell phone and you weren't looking at the TV screen while the show was on, you missed something. There's hints, clue. It's a puzzle. Lost is a puzzle meant to be solved. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, what I'm trying to get at about the whole Arc of Line stuff is, if that was the end of Fenn's rainbow, wouldn't that be safe to assume that the blaze was in fact in association with the rod, the fishing rod?
I actually disagree there. Unless you're going to say lightning rod. Possibly lightning rod. I'm with you there. I think the double end of the rainbow, and this is where I'm biased, I think the double end of the rainbow is the D.B. Cooper story. The D.B. Cooper solve in Ha 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 is 9 Mile Bay. The D.B. Cooper or the Forrest Fenn solve for the Thrill of the Chase seems to be 9 Mile Hole. I think that's your rainbow, but that's personally to me. Remember, 9 Mile Bay is where Clark Gable. Hold up.
Book they're supposed to do about the Scott stories doesn't exist.
Well, maybe the other book that doesn't exist is Ha Ha Ha. Who knows? All I know is Clark Gable caught the world's record trout at 9 Mile Bay in Nixon, Nevada, where Alan and I's solve is. And Forrest shoved Clark Gable down everyone's throats. And if the solve is 9 Mile Hole and Clark Gable caught his best trout at 9 Mile Bay, Nixon, Nevada, and that's our Ha 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 solve, and we didn't even know it. It's not like we looked for it. It just happened to be that. Bingo, bango, bongo.
Have you tried to ask anyone in the community if they've ever tried cross-referencing scrapbooks or Terry Schneer, Jimmy Kyle, any of that?
Yep.
With Fenn ever mentioning a fishing line?
Yep. It's turned out, and I'm going to sound biased, and Alan can back it up here. Every single investigation into the scrapbooks that we have done post-find has led us to D.B. Cooper. The scrapbooks, it seems, for us anyways, leads to the story in the olive jar. The John Ehrlichman, the Nixon scrapbooks, the Chili scrapbooks, the $5 bill with the fold and Florence covered up, and all of that points to the story. It seems to me like the scrapbooks didn't point to the solve. It pointed to the story, and then they were used quasi to talk to the lead searcher, and that's it. So that's my opinion on the scrapbooks overall.
Damn.
Well, where did you see that Forrest? What?
Ask it, Candy. Come on.
Oh, I said, where did you see that Forrest also had a pimento cheese sandwich or was talking about a Coke or Dr. Pepper?
The pimento
Every time he mentions the place where he hid the treasure, he mentions those items.
The pimento cheese sandwich thing, I know Alan has a great thing for D.B. Cooper, but unrelated to that, I've been looking more into the pimento cheese sandwich thing too. I'm just having a brain fart in the whole topic.
It goes back to bring a sandwich.
Right, bring a sandwich, yada, yada. But you know what? You could bring a sandwich anywhere. Whether there's a picnic table or a campsite or a parking spot, you can bring a sandwich anywhere you go in the entire world. So does it really give us a hint?
For Forrest, and what
I know.
When he went fishing.
I agree.
So
I agree, and I think
scrapbooks for those items.
I think the hint of pimento cheese, if you combine the whole menu, if you combine his lunch menu of a pimento cheese sandwich and a Dr. Pepper and an apple pie, then yeah, you're going to realize maybe it's a fishing solve. I agree with that.
Well, not only that, but I mean, I've always been looking for the pimento cheese sandwich. My first email I ever got response back and forth was actually about a pimento cheese sandwich.
It's
So
perfect. It's a great hint.
It's very important.
It's a great hint because by itself it means nothing, but if you combine it with other things, all of a sudden it might illuminate something. That's a perfect way of the way Forrest would handle shit. I love it.
Yeah, and that's why you gotta look for a spot down in the 1940s.
Any other updates for like World Series of Fenn? What are we doing here?
Talking to me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I mean, Mindy, James, and I are doing that. I used to say it's almost like a murder mystery treasure hunt for Friday night.
Where is that at?
It's gonna be in our suite at the.
But we're going to fucking
Victoria.
Fremont. Can you do it at Fremont? Can you do it at Fremont?
No, because it's got to be like.
If you do it, I tell you what.
We're basically gonna be playing like.
I tell you what.
Murder mystery.
I hear you. I hear you. But we're going to fucking Fremont. If you do that shit at Fremont, if you listen to me, if you do that shit at Fremont, Ashley and I will buy in, and I will get everybody with us to buy in. Do it at fucking Fremont,
but
and I'm in.
It's not a buy-in; it's free.
Well, whatever. Do the fucking thing at Fremont. Adjust it for Fremont, and it might be the most epic fucking treasure hunt thing we've ever done in real life. I would be totally down.
But
Just do it at
fucking. Do it at Fremont. You have to be in a closed space because there's things that you have to.
Course correct. I know.
Stuff.
I am the head of the studio coming to you, the writer, saying, I love your concept. Rewrite it entirely in the next 2 weeks and put it in Fremont, and you got a winner. That's all. Take me up on my offer or not. But I'm just saying, if you do that shit at Fremont, rewrite that shit for Fremont, everyone will be in.
Well, so what Mindy and James are doing is prizes of $2,000 in cash, right?
That's dope.
So one of the main prizes is going to be $1,000, and then other little baby prizes are going to add up to be able to be like $1,000 on top of that.
Make yourself a hub. Make yourself a hub on Fremont. Get yourself a bar in Fremont you can own and reorganize the whole thing. I don't know what you're doing because I want to participate, so don't tell me. But I'm just saying, do it for Fremont. Rewrite it for fucking Fremont and make it an all-night affair. It will be the most epic fucking thing in the world.
I mean, I don't know legally if we could do that.
All right, well, figure that part out. And if you need my help, I'll help. But I don't want to help to the point where, like, I'm not allowed to participate anymore. But make it fucking happen because I think it could be better. What's up? What are you pointing at? What are you pointing at? The bong. Oh, okay. I got you, boo. Do you want me to smoke it for you? Okay. Goddamn, just talk.
I don't know how Ashley doesn't fall over after that stuff.
Here you go, boo. Oh, this is like multivision. Wow, this is like multivision. This is very interesting. We needed. Oh, I should have done. Here, come back, babe. You got to smoke. You got to smoke.
Smoke weed every day.
She has to smoke again. You know what time it is, Ashley? Tell the audience what time it is. Oof. Just tell them what time it is. Right here. Just say hi. Tell them what time. What time is it?
Smoke weed.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, she knew to blow the smoke.
Okay, I'm done.
We didn't even coordinate that.
I'm done.
That's well done.
I'm done.
She's dying now. All right, Kane, anything else? You're over that time limit, player.
No, I'm just plotting.
All right, I'm going to see you at fucking WSOF. What time are you going to get there? What time are you driving?
I'm going out there with DJ's sister, so I was thinking about leaving super early so we could get there at a good time.
I'm going to land at 9 a.m.
Yeah, see, I like sleep, but yeah, I might leave around 8 or 9.
So when you get in there around like 2, come say hi.
Well, so I was just trying to think, because like not everybody likes to do Fremont for the whole night, and we were going to try and aim for it to be like at 11 o'clock or midnight.
I mean, not everybody likes to do Fremont for the whole night, indeed, but you have to understand that the shenanigans that transpire at Fremont will get everybody wasted. And then,
yes, I'm aware of that, but
okay.
I also have to say there's only 12 spots.
I understand that, but if you're going to get everybody wasted,
I can't hear
gonna
you
be
for
a
whatever reason, so I'm gonna leave and join again.
Okay, boo. It's going to be a mess by midnight. You might as well be where the action is, reorient it for where the action is, and make it epic. Even if there's only 12 spots, the rest of us can watch. It'll be fun. People want to people watch. People want to drink. They want it to be as little moving around as fucking possible, especially when it's like, you know, a big group thing. The more people we have doing this, the less places you want to move to. That's usually how this kind of thing works.
Link Murder?
Describe it. It might be a different name that I've played.
Okay, basically, it's you got a room of people, and one person's a killer, and the other people are village townsfolk. And there's one person that basically regulates the whole thing. And so you say you got to close your eyes, and everyone has their eyes closed, and there's people that make sure you don't peek. And then the killer, you say, killer awaken, and the killer awakens, and while your eyes are closed, the killer can look at you and kill you. And so then the person who regulates goes over and touches your shoulder, and you're dead. So then next thing you know, you resume your place, and then you say, wake up. So everyone with their eyes closed, open their eyes, and repeat the same thing. So then you try and say if you know who the killer is.
Sounds like Clue.
Kind of like that, but I'm doing a spin on it with fantasy, and it's going to help you win a lot of money.
Well,
so that's the basic concept that I was working with that I have, but it's completely different.
Very interesting.
I mean, it sounds fun. Again, though, when you got big groups traveling in large packs and they're going to multiple places, it's just the less places, the better. I just know how these things go. It's just it happens too many fucking times. I'm gonna be a Fremont. I'm gonna be a Fremont. If I happen to leave Fremont at a time that's permissible and there happens to be a spot open and I still feel like doing nothing else, but you know, I don't feel like sleeping, sure, maybe. But you fucking plop that shit on me at Fremont, I have no choice but to participate.
I'll be at Fremont too. It's just I'm not planning on sticking around all night.
You'd be surprised how fast the time flies at Fremont. It's very fun. It's very fun.
You will be surprised to know that the entire time you're at World Series of Fenn, all we do is hang out, sweets, to drink, and talk Fenn and play poker.
I'm with you, play it. I'm gonna be doing all that shit.
That sounds exactly like
line of coke off the poker table in your suite at Saturday at noon, maybe. I don't fucking know how this thing goes.
Coke. No coke.
I hate coke. I'm not. I'm not actually endorsing cocaine. I think that's coke. I think cocaine's stupid, but that's just me. Especially when you have Adderall.
No drugs. No legal drugs. What are we talking about here?
No illegal drugs. Dude. No illegal drugs. Plenty of
Never.
drugs. Plenty of drugs. Alcohol and weed.
I'm sure
those are drugs.
We're gonna have like sampling bottles around our necks. It's okay.
The fucking yard thingies.
Yes, I got Christy 2 of them on her wedding night.
I guess we're having an engagement party too.
What?
I guess we're having an engagement party. I don't even know what that means. Nobody bring any presents.
I feel very uncomfortable.
Or is it another time?
I don't know. I think K-Pro and Ashley are handing. I think it's going to be kind of like Ellis Island-y. I think. All I want is for everybody who says hello to me to be willing to have a drink with me. That's all.
That's fair.
The engagement party, right, Boo? Same with you. Anybody wanting to talk to Ashley, have a drink with her. That's the fucking rule for Vegas.
100%.
You're gonna be like Mike and just taking all these shots, and you're gonna be like,
oh, I plan on being absolutely shit-faced, confessing every little secret I have by around 11:55 at night.
Oh, that's so frightening. I'm so scared right now.
I'm hoping everything comes out to the public before World Series of Fenn so that I don't have to worry about it. How about that?
What?
Ooh, privileged information. No, I'm fucking with you, Susie. If you're back there, I'm just fucking with you. Stuff.
Don't set her off.
There's information that I'm trying to acquire, ladies and gentlemen. Any information I get, I'm acquiring. I have not sold my soul. I have not been paid a penny by anybody in this chase, including YouTube. I have done what I've done through the means and methods that I think were appropriate to get the information that I felt I needed to be satisfied. Eventually, that information will come to everybody when I've concluded my investigations. Until I have concluded such investigations, I will not say shit so as to not harm said investigations. Does that seem fair?
Basically, so you be held accountable.
I'll be held accountable afterwards. People might not like me afterwards, but I will get the truth out. One means or another, one method or another, one way or another. I haven't taken $1. No one can sue me. No one can do anything to me. I'm fucking impervious, and I have set it up that way. Jack might have set up a good game, but I've set up a better one in terms of finding out what the fucking truth is. And if people in the chase don't like that, that's too bad. I was getting the truth out for free. I win.
Oh, Ben, did you see that email I sent you?
Which one?
The one that I got from David Moore.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's yeah. We both agree. Come on, stupid troll.
Mount Pleasant, Michigan. And then after that, it was Mountain View, California. And I'm like, oh, that's Google. They're using a free VPN at that point.
Yeah, this is just a VPN.
But it's pretty
nonsense.
funny because it's like someone is trying to ruffle feathers.
Oh yeah, no, and it might even be the same person for all we know. But
That's why I was
yeah.
like, I gotta look into it because it's possible they could still be the same person.
Could be, might be, probably not though.
I just found it interesting they emailed me and not you. I'm like, why aren't you emailing all of us? We're all talking about it.
Maybe they think they can scare you.
Nah. The thing that scares me is just really bad hairstyles and butthole lips.
Are you talking shit about my hair?
No.
I haven't gotten a haircut in 6 months, and I haven't heard you make a hairstyle comment in 6 months. And then you all of a sudden just go, I really just am offended by bad haircuts. What am I supposed to think?
No, not you. It's nothing pertaining to you.
If you say so.
If your hair was bad, then I would tell you.
I'll go ahead and believe that, but only because it makes me feel better.
That's funny. I mean, I saw your hair yesterday, and it was a little wild out, but it wasn't anything like offensive.
Hey, Ashley.
I know my Wi-Fi is shit.
Oh no, I was gonna say your mom's offensive because it was a perfect your mom joke. It was a perfect opportunity for your mom joke, so I was just going your mom's offensive.
Ah, crap! I missed it.
Boo! Sign out and come back in. I don't know what it is with your phone. Get off Wi-Fi.
Wait, so what are you mainly talking about today? Are you talking more about the possible hacking?
Oh yeah, I mean we're gonna get into all this. It's just we're just getting going.
I was bummed out. I couldn't stick around with you yesterday because I was like had to do family stuff. But I mean, I understand a lot of people are like very pissy about the insinuation that the chase was compromised. But there's like more and more items and details that we are finding that actually prove it could be possible.
Right. I mean.
So I want to talk more about that.
Well, that's where my head's at more these days. But it's hard to talk about because we're not done with it. I mean, what can we really talk about? None of this is privileged information. Our guts are telling us that there is a large possibility that Jack could have hacked Fenn based on what we're learning. The information that was provided might not have been proof to a lot of people or some people. Certainly those who feel they have a knowledge of this kind of thing, and I completely agree with them, and I still want to talk to a couple of them. But what they all agree on privately, and they will say this to me, is it's very evident that David Moore is most likely Jack Stiff.
Okay, so if people don't want to talk about that, how about this? Let's talk about how it's possible Jack Stiff was able to like weasel out and center on Diggin' Gypsy. And how the
well, let me ask you this.
mentioned,
it's a great question. No, let's just start right there. Great question. Did Diggin' Gypsy post anything about 9 Mile on any of the public forums? prior to that email.
Yeah, she posted about how Fenn wrote Scrapbook 50 about her.
And was that implying 9
With the
Mile?
double omegas.
Does she say 9 Mile?
I think she told a few people,
Because
but it wasn't very well known.
The overarching question here is, how did Jack Stoof know that Dick and Gypsy was a 9 Mile searcher? If she didn't post about this on any forum and only emailed Forrest this information, then that implication alone is that Jack could only have, or David Moore could only have learned this information via hacking Fenn.
You mean the same information he says from the Condor 2 Reddit database where he says you'd have to be able to find keywords in which Fenn looked for to know who was closest?
And then the same Condor 2 database in which the Condor states, also you'd probably want to have Fenn's 2009 GPS data?
Yep. And how they talk about RAT, all caps, which is the rat virus. They talk about rats, and I really think it's possible that churning thing that they were up to was also taking people's information.
The churning thing was just about, in my opinion, was just about bilking the system. That's it.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, you signed up for stuff.
No. Part of, yes. Part of bilking the system is, hey, does your sister live with you? Sign her up without her knowledge because she lives at the same address. Does your brother use your mailing address? Great. Sign him up too. I mean, it was absolutely like using identities and different identities to acquire points and all this shit. Yeah, absolutely. That's what Jack was doing. And he was giving advice to do that. He was telling people on this message board who lives with you, use their identity and their information and you can get more points. He was telling people how to scam.
Well, also, there's the information that Lucky Digger found pertaining to the burner email and the fake account that led back to Iceland, correct?
All right, hold on. Fucking Zozo, come on. Did you see this?
No, what's he saying?
Zozo says, Taylor Swift is Forrest's granddaughter. Breaking news.
I like the conspiracy that Taylor Swift is really the reincarnate or the clone of what's her name that runs the satanic cult.
Oh, shit. Maybe she's both.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
That one cracks me up because it is very freaking scary how similar she looks.
Forrest Frenzy says, David Moore's email to Dick and Gypsy explicitly states that he Googled 9 Mile Hole, and she was the only searcher he found results for. Her info was public. There is no evidence of hacking. Well, Jack, let me respond to you, Jack. So what I would say, Jack, is this, Jack. Jack, David Moore's email to Dick and Gypsy does state that he Googled 9 Mile Hole. What I would love to see is a recreation of a Google search within the parameters before 2019 of 9 Mile Hole and to see if Dick and Gypsy really does come up and if she really did post that publicly. I would like to know that. If she didn't, it's further proof that you, Jack, absolutely did hack her, Jack.
I don't think he hacked her per se, but I think he hacked Fenn.
He hacked her via Fenn. Absolutely. No. Let's make no bones about this.
Through Fenn, yeah.
He hacked Fenn's emails and read Dick and Gypsy's emails to Fenn. Bingo.
Well, let's think about this then. What do you think could cause Forrest to reach out to Dale and tell him that he was getting blackmailed by multiple people and he was considering ending the chase? And now we know Dale is not a fan of Jack.
We know Dale is not a fan of Jack. Why is Dale not a fan of Jack? Does he know something we don't know?
Because he has a story as to why Fenn was getting blackmailed by certain people.
Hacker Jack, Packer Jack. Hey guys, type Jack into your phone in the middle of a sentence and see what your Apple iPhone does. It autocorrects the hack every fucking time for me. I don't know about you guys. Every time I'm going, fuck Jack for ending our dreams, I'll do it and it'll go duck hack. Alan says, I missed the last 20 minutes, but can I call in? Oh, yeah. Hey, Indy, anything else? I got to cut you off.
Yeah. No. Let Alan call in.
All right. Thank you, Indy. I'm gonna see you at World Series. I'll probably talk to you on another stream before then, though.
Okay. Bye.
All right, peace. All right, Alan, call in, man. Although I don't know where my window is. All right, there's my window. Okay, yeah, call in, man. Johnny Depp's not cool enough to go to Cimarron. It's more like John Wayne. I emailed Fenn after the chest was found. I told Fenn I heard he was hacked, and he said he was not hacked. Well, if I was hacked, I would say I'm not hacked either, to be perfectly honest. If I were Fenn, that doesn't mean what Fenn is saying is true or not true. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't just go, yeah, no, I was hacked. The whole chase was compromised and nothing is legitimate. Like, I wouldn't just say that, right? The elite are coming into the room. No, man. People are coming into the room and people are exiting the room. There's no elite here. Everybody's on the same fucking page except for the Fenns. They're elite. Because they know the truth. And if they don't want to share the truth, that's fine. But you know what I'd love? I'd love to see Fenn's laptop. That's what I'd love to see. Oh, shit. So the left side of Fenn's... okay. So you guys wanted to see the other side of the chest, right? Of the replica chest, even though I said it doesn't fucking matter because there would be differences. Well, here y'all fucking go. All right. I hope you're all happy. Remember, it's supposed to go to the middle, right? But they're not going to the middle. They're not going to the middle.
Fatality. Finish him.
We got a phone call. I think I know who it is.
Call from Ellen K. To accept.
You made the computer say your name, you son of a bitch.
What? That's funny.
Phone call
from
Alan K.
I had a whole plan. That's funny. I didn't even say that. I had a whole plan for even saying my name.
Oh, that's what I was expecting from you.
No, I was gonna do like, Dad, pick me up from the school. Bye. You know how collect calls used to go?
Right.
I was totally gonna do that.
Right.
Dad, I'm at school. Pick me up now. Bye.
What's up, dude?
Didn't even give me the option.
It didn't.
No,
It didn't.
nothing. I'm just gonna talk.
The
man.
system is working against you.
Yeah.
Nomadic Madman, I will only accept a real chest. That's what I'm saying. That's why no pictures matter to me except for the real one. Jen says, that is the forced chest. I agree. This is why I didn't want to look at this anyway. But guess what? That one did prove my point, and I'm still not going to quote it. I won't cite it. Like I said, it's bullshit. I don't want to see the other ones. I want to see that side of the chest from the original Forrest Fenn chest. And if no one can show that to me, then someone has purposefully made sure that you can't see that side of the chest. Why? Sorry, Alan. What's up?
Nothing. I'm just dialing in.
Dialing in.
And also,
Let's do this, Alan.
Interrupting Indy.
Alan.
That sucks. So, yep.
I think this is what we should do. We're going to call this a new segment. It's called the Ben and Alan Weather segment. Are you ready for this? I'm going to do this. You don't say a word. You just sit there in glee and you enjoy the moment, all right?
Glee is not where I am, but thank you.
Well, let's see if I can even get the keyboard to type. I can't even get the fucking keyboard. This is great because I can't even get the keyboard to type. Weather, man. Weather. Come on, keyboard. ER. There we go. .com. No, that's 2 M's. Whatever. We're going to go here. All right.
Boom.
We're not done yet. So that took me much longer than I thought it would. I'm going to sit. You know what? Before we do this, I'm going to. Oh, good. It's in the save searches. All right. Fantastic. All right. So we go back to the soundboard. We're gonna do. It's 49 degrees and it's sunny. Alan.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Is it not snowy there?
In San Jose, California? Never.
No. I mean in Nixon, Nevada right now.
Oh, hell, good question. Haven't looked it up.
My friend, look at the screen. That's what I'm looking at.
Well, if I look at the screen, then I think I...
On January 30th, it will be 57 degrees and partly cloudy. Right before World Series of Fenn. Fuck. This is what we were waiting for, and we're finding out live. What do we do? You still there?
I am here. I'm just hearing an echo. So.
Oh, is there echo? Hold up. Yeah. Let me get rid of echoes. Is there an echo? I got echo cancellation on, man. If there's echo, that's not my bad. I don't know. All I know is it's going to be 56 degrees on January 31.
Oh man, that's 30 degrees higher than it was when we were there. So that makes sense. Or maybe 40 degrees higher.
I mean, and every day before it's in the 50s and 40s. I mean, it's cold at night, but will there still be snow on the ground? I don't think so.
I doubt it. I mean, there was barely snow when we went there, and that's when it was literally freezing. It was at 26 degrees, I believe.
Uh-oh.
When we were there.
We're going to have to talk about this offline, my friend.
Are you saying that because you can't hear me? Or
no, I'm going to say we're going to have to talk about this offline, my friend, because shit just got real.
Bro.
Shit just got real, bro. Are you not putting this together? We're going to have to go boots on the ground again.
Which is totally fine with me. I mean, that just means another haunted trout in my back pocket. So
it's Brittany, bitch.
Sure. I mean, it's Brittany bitch time. It's time to do this. But it's so close to World Series of Fenn. I don't even know what to do.
Yeah, I think that's a little too hard for you to actually attempt.
I'd be down if you went. I'd trust you.
Yeah, I think the spring would be probably simpler because it's like you're not battling with the elements.
It's a good thing we didn't reveal our precise spot. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that threw a curveball and shit. Anyway, what else is up? This segment sucks. Fuck the Ben and Alan check the weather segment. I hereby ban it.
No, yeah. The reason why I called in, honestly, is like, I don't know, and I'm not trying to like stabilize the community because that's not. I mean, I try to do that, but it's not also what I try to do. But when there's animosity coming from every direction, from every person, from every channel, that's where I'm like, this is ridiculous because this is not what we signed up for, and whatever. Like, I'm not even talking about that. Like, you want to enter at your own risk. I get that too.
Right.
It's more of like, why does it keep jumping from we're all on the same team, we're all trying to solve this thing, to we hate each other, we all hate each other, and then everyone's on certain teams, to the other side. It's such a flip-floppy community. But it's because it's that way because it was almost built that way. And that's the screwy part of it. Where even Forrest, like his motive was like, get off your cell phones, get out of your laptops and go enjoy scenery. 90% of people didn't ever go boots on the ground. I would say 90% of them.
How do you not go
boots
on the ground for
money,
this?
Yeah.
Unless you can't afford it. That's fine. If you can't afford it, I totally get it.
No, totally fine. Totally fine.
But if you're just doing
fine.
this to just do an armchair solve when he goes, you got to leave the house. Like, how do you not leave the house?
But hey, this is where I'm getting annoyed lately. Is that Jack said he solved it in 2 weeks.
Right.
And he realized, like, oh, I know where Forrest wanted to die. Well, so
Right.
does every other searcher ever that's ever looked for this death, ever.
Alan, let me
everyone
ask you,
says,
Alan, let me ask you this question. Does Jack say, I figured out the solve to the poem, or does Jack always say, I figured out where Forrest wanted to die?
well, I'm not a Condor raid database.
Can I answer for you? Can I answer for you?
Yes, I know the answer. I know the answer. It's I found out where Forrest wanted to die. Never solved.
Right.
And that's where a lot of people in the chat would be like, not a solver, not even a finder.
I'm with. Honestly, I talked. If people go back through my Searcher 2342 posts on Thor, I was mostly a Jack defender going, no, come on, guys. He had to have solved this poem for him to have gotten the chest. Fenn said no one was going to stumble upon this thing. You were going to have to use the poem to get there. No matter what your solve is, you're going to have to use the poem. Yeah. So Jack found the fucking chest. Like, that's usually what I was saying on Thor. Different now.
Which I agree with. And now I'm at the point where if Jack didn't find the chest, then the whole thing is a lie. And that's like.
But is it fair that he found the chest? Is it fair that he found the chest but didn't solve the poem?
Sure. I mean, that could totally happen.
I mean, here's the concept. I'm sure I've told you the general concept, but the general concept here is that Fenn hacks, or Jack hacks Fenn's email. And then through that hack, he's able to acquire access to the entire laptop. And through that laptop, he does what the Condor 2 states you would need to have more than 20% confidence, which is acquire Fenn's 2009 GPS data.
What a silly comment to make if that's actually what he did. But like, is that a comment?
How silly is it? How silly is it for the serial murderer to always go back to the scene of the crime, or to always take a trophy that always gets him caught? It's a movie trope, but it's a movie trope because it's a real life trope.
Yep.
Human beings just want to get caught in some weird way to show their genius.
And this is, totally agree. And this is where my brain like keeps teetering. Like I literally sleep at night, like listening to all of your guys' shows, like you, Susie, K-Pro, like anyone that is talking, I'm listening. But I'm all over the place because like the facts seem like the hack thing makes sense. But then like my heart and my gut tell me like that can't be true, because like if Fenn realized that he was hacked, that should have been like, there should have been something, some other protocol.
Alan, let me cut you off there. You are now Forrest Fenn, okay?
Yep. I wish.
Listen, you won one of his contests. I can do this with you more than anyone else in the chase. So, you're Forrest Fenn. You have gone on record saying that you spent 15 years especially from your old school brain, you are telling people you spent a lot of time on this shit. You've spent all that time saying this. 15 fucking years. But I thought of everything. I thought of everything.
It's a made-up number.
Right. It's a made-up number. It's 25. It's 2. It's 10. Whatever. He spent a long time.
50 years. 100 years.
He's thought of this since the time he was 13 years old. Whatever.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yet also he gives you the I play dumb attitude. Meanwhile, he's super smart. Blah, 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 blah. It sounds like the guy thinks he knows what he's doing, right? There's a little bit of an ego to the Forrest Fenn, man, and that's good. That's what you need.
A little bit.
A little tiny bit of an ego from a maverick. Of course there's an ego here. Right. Now, you create this intricate treasure hunt where you know you have created an intricate treasure hunt where it will take genius to solve it. It's that clever. And you've thought of permutations outside of a solve where you have gone over at least the concepts of the land, blah, 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 blah. You've put out the idea that you've thought of everything. Someone hacks you. Someone violates your privacy against your will. Do you advertise that to everybody? Hey, someone got the better of me and got into my system, guys. The chase is compromised. The chest is still out there. I can't go back and get it because I literally fucking said that in my poem. So I don't know what to do. Is that what you are gonna do, Alan, as Forrest Fenn?
I'm not sure, and that's exactly why I called in. Like that's literally the question that I'm questioning, because on one hand I'm saying Forrest Fenn, if Jack literally left it there in 2019, then Forrest Fenn is, I guess, okay. leaving it there too. And also not saying it was solved and, chase is over, because it's still out there. But I'm also going to say that is ridiculous. Like on Jack's behalf, on Forrest's behalf, it's almost disgusting.
Right.
No one made you do it. Like, I understand those stupid arguments. I'm just saying, like, that is ridiculous to me. If that really is what happened, where they both just said, like, we're both handcuffed because of legalities of a chase that was totally illegal, that was hidden in an illegal national park.
But there's a lot of, you're adding a lot to the end of that. If the hidden in a national park was part of the solve, it was part of the dare. Remember, he dared us to find this chest. He chose those. He chose these specific inception words on purpose. So if the original thought was, yeah, I get it, I'm putting it in a national park, you might have issues with this, but again, it's a $2 million treasure chest, and you wouldn't have had a shot at this if I didn't do this. So don't whine, right? Like, if that's what he's thinking, right?
Yep.
Well, then all of a sudden, we can't even lump that in on the list of things you're doing, because that was not a nefarious thing. It was part of the inception of the whole treasure hunt to begin with. So we can't even add that as a list to what you were listing. At least that's my nitpicking. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we should add that to it. But in my opinion, it was maybe part of the richness of it, the dare of it. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean?
No, that's where my nitpicking. That's why I said I waver, because on one hand I have Forrest, which is he deliberately hit it in whatever people agree, disagree, don't. He deliberately hit it in Yellowstone National Park because that is going to be a cluster F for everyone, and he's going to do what he wanted to do, and he's a maverick.
Right.
That is one thing, and I believe that that's what happened. Whether it's myself or someone else, it doesn't matter. But then there's Jack that now is saying, because you did that, I'm going to lie to everyone about where I found it forever, and you will never, ever know. That's what I'm saying. This is getting very frustrating. Because
it gives Jack the opportunity to. It gives Jack the opportunity to. That's actually a very good take, Alan. So Jack sees what Forrest did. He understands the dare that's taking place. But then Jack takes offense and almost goes, you know what? Because you did that, it allows me to take the black hat route and just go, fuck your spot, fuck your solve. I have your chest.
That's exactly what he did.
And that's exactly what Jack might not have taken that route if the chest was, say, placed on public land where there was no issue, legally speaking, wherever that spot is.
Not only is that true, he didn't even say, like, I don't know which Medium stupid article. It was like, I hoped it wasn't where I thought it was.
Right. I remember that. I remember that.
Park. Because that's going to be a legal S show.
And if he's thinking it was Yellowstone from the beginning, there's only two explanations that explain Yellowstone, in my opinion. Something in the poem tells you Yellowstone right off the bat, undeniable, and you think it's undeniable, and no one can persuade you, which is mostly everybody with their own personal solves. I will give, for example, to the court, the idea of Wizard of Oz, Marvel Gaze, Professor Marvel. Why is it? Wyoming is it? And you're getting Professor Gave. It begins at the Yellow Brick Road. The Yellow Brick Road is Yellowstone. It begins at Yellowstone. The Madison River begins at Yellowstone, except you have to do the backwards bicycle and go against upstream and work yourself back. Where Wormwaters halts is not the Madison Junction. Where Wormwaters halts is the Montana-Wyoming border, where you begin the Yellow Brick Road, where you begin Yellowstone, except you go into Yellowstone. You go into the Yellow Brick Road. And that's so we all have that solved. So anyway, I went into a little bit of a rant, but that's where I was going with that. I'll shut up now.
No, yeah. I mean, everyone has their own little rabbit hole solved there.
Right.
But I don't think it takes a genius, and this is Forrest Fenn's phrase, to realize what's going on here.
Right.
Jack found the chest. And if you're going to disagree that Jack found the chest, that's comment one. if Jack found the chest and isn't saying where he found it, and it's not on private property, I mean, how hard is it just to imagine that Jack found the chest in Yellowstone? It's so simple. And because he found it in Yellowstone, wherever it is in Yellowstone, don't care. I'm not sitting here arguing my stupid self. That is the reason why we're screwed. Because he will never say where he found it.
Right. We're not going to get shit out of Jack.
Yep. But then, I don't know how I mean.
Okay, but Alan,
always work.
Alan, you're my friend. I feel as if I crossed the line in the moral world of just social occurrences, you'd call me up behind the scenes and you'd be like, hey, Ben, man, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Like, I'm not going to associate myself with you if you're going to do that. Like, I feel as if we're at a level now where if I did something like that, you would call me up, right?
Yeah, maybe. But
maybe.
I've seen that,
and maybe not. Maybe you'd just be like, it's none of my fucking business, right? But my point is Jack's not giving us shit. So it requires somebody to try to figure this out.
He does not give a shit about any one of us.
Right.
He already said that.
Right.
He said that. So why would he give any of those words? Sorry, I have kids here, so I'm saying things like big like that.
Okay, but then let me toss one back at you. Let me toss one back. If he doesn't give a fucking shit about anything, then when you find out that Jack's email translates to Jack hid cash or hijacked cash, do you go, all right, I believe Jack, that's just a coincidence? Or do you go, no, Jack's a liar, that's on purpose? But if that's on purpose, then he's sending us messages. And then all of a sudden, do we go, fuck Jack? Or do we go, wait, is Jack doing something for us and we just can't see it?
Hey, I will gladly interrupt what you just said because, you know, when Jack found the chest or whatever, and I realized what Jack's email was, like, I was totally like, dude, that is freaking awesome. Like, I don't know how you did it. Like, I'm happy for you and your family. I don't know if you have kids. I don't know if you have a wife. I don't know if you have a husband. Don't care. Don't know. That's not my business. It was like, I can't wait to hear the full story.
Right.
Like, since then, it's been like, you know, a couple other questions. Like, when I realized we're not getting information out, then I was like, okay. Then I had like 6 questions lined up, yes or no. And that's when, like, did you cross a waterway? Did you touch warm water? But since then, since all way back when, which feels like a decade ago, now I'm just like, I don't even know if you're telling any of us anything of value or truth, and I don't even think you care. Even though I was so cordial, and Jack, if you're listening, I will be the same way if we meet for a beer. I am just saying, like, this whole thing is what you described as an S show. This whole thing, you are creating an S show. You don't have to, because you could have easily said, I found it wherever I found it. And whether you want to take some tax percentage from me, Yellowstone National Park or Wyoming, don't care.
Let me offer you an idea.
Take the whole damn chest.
Alan, let me offer you an idea. Let me ask you this. What if Yellowstone found out, and I'm just coming up with fucking plausibilities here. What plausible, is that a word? Anyway, what if Yellowstone had assumed the chest was inside its national park for quite a bit of time? And so they've been following this thing till the end. And they find out Jack found it. And they're like, okay, Jack found it. Was Jack in the park? Because we all believe it was in Yellowstone anyway. We have access to the cameras. Let's see. Let's look up Jack Stew's information. You know, maybe they crossed some lines behind the scenes. Who knows? Is it possible? Wait, shit. Now I forgot my fucking premise of the question. Fuck.
Well, I could answer the question without even questioning.
Okay, good. Go.
One, yes, he's responsible. So, and Forrest, and maybe even the entire Fenn estate. And this is where people are like, stop, you know, leave everyone.
Okay, so would Yellowstone hold him responsible?
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Did you find this thing on our property?
Let me ask you this.
Or no?
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to involve egos. Okay.
All right.
Yellowstone finds out it was on their property with confirmation from Jack. And Yellowstone goes, you know what? If people find out it was on Yellowstone, they're going to think somebody will do this all over again. Hey, Jack, just never fucking say it was in Yellowstone and we'll leave you alone.
Yep, that could happen. Or they say, we are going to I know this works because of my lawyer. Like, can the estate or Jack be punished for every like dollar that was lost because of the Fenn treasure cache?
Right.
Like all the people like losing their, dropping into Yellowstone Grand Canyon. Not life's loss. Obviously, you can never repay that, which is it's sad to think about.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm saying, like, yes, this is a major lawsuit, like a major one. Like, and that's why I feel.
So what happens if
he's never going to tell us?
So then what happens? And I'm not asking for this. I'm not calling for this. But what would happen if everybody were to just show up to 9 Mile Hole on June 5th, 2022 and cross the motherfucking Madison? I'm talking 150 people.
Building like a bridge?
150 people. And let's fucking do it like Teachers with Ropes. From one
That's
spot
the worst thing I could ever think of.
to Fenn Rock, baby.
You're crazy.
I'm
picturing like the Immaculate Yellowstone.
I'm just asking questions. I don't even know what the question was.
1,000 dirty ass searchers sitting in the Madison River, crawling over each other. I think it's the worst.
But I tell you what, if there was 100, and here's why I don't feel afraid for asking or wondering about such a topic. 150 of us, we're safe. If somebody slips, someone's going to pick them up. You know what I mean? Like the more there are, the safer we are.
I'm not saying like I'm not talking about a personal injury.
Right. I'm just saying.
I'm talking about what Jack pretends to talk about.
Right. Oh, we're going to trample it.
Of the area.
We're going to trample the spot, Alan. We're going to destroy it.
Yeah, so did Buffalo. So do
Alan.
Hopefully Bears.
Alan, Jack didn't trample the spot because he's special. But we would because we didn't solve the poem.
Yeah. I marked 1,000 trees. Yeah. Good luck.
He marked 1,000 trees with plastic or rope, but we would trample the site. He grid searched the same football field area for 25 days. Jack, how did you know the spot and never leave it for 25 days? Unless, of course, unless let's go into your own words. And anybody, I dare you to do this. I dare you. Go back to when I showed up on these YouTube worlds back last summer, and people would ask me, Ben, how confident are you of your solve or any of your solves? I would say 20%, 20%. Jens has me for his documentary. How confident were you for your solve? 20%. Never can be more sure than 20%. No one understood why I was saying that, of course, because some of the Condor 2 information wasn't even out yet. And then now it's out. If you look at Condor 2, he says you can never be more than 20% sure of a solve unless you have Fenn's 2009 GPS data. Jack, searching the same spot for 25 days is more than 20%. Did you have Fenn's 2009 GPS data, sir? Do you see how I deduce this?
Yeah, I do.
Is there any other choice?
Well, there's a million choices. That's the problem with this whole thing. Is like deduce what you want to deduce. It's hard, and it's hard when you're like taking comments from a commenter on a Reddit, post. But I understand the logic.
Let's pretend Jack was Condor 2.
Can I just quickly, before you
interrupt
me, I will interrupt
you. Go.
Can I just crap on the whole string theory? Like, not the Michio Kaku string theory.
That Fenn took a string to keep track of where he put...
Okay.
Hold on, I have to pee.
Stupidest thing I've ever
I have to pee. Can you, set people up for the quote? Because I know what you're going to do, so I don't need to hear the first 30 seconds, but I'll be right back.
Sure, I'll give you 45 seconds of leeway here. So, Forrest Fenn said, I could walk right straight to it. He said that, I don't know, about 1,000 times. I could walk right straight to it. And he said that when he was even, he couldn't even walk. He wasn't, getting senile at that point. But I could walk right straight to it. Like the spot was special to me. Everything was a direct route. And so the fact that someone is bringing up that he had to use fishing line and also like a vague spool of fishing line. Fishing line comes in 20 yards, 50 yards, 100 yards, 350 yards, 1,000 feet, whatever. Like you can't just say like, oh, that was his magic fishing spool of line that had 87 yards of spool in it. And that's the only reason why Fenn would know how to get back to his special spot. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So regardless of 9 Mile Hole or any hole or solve, like there's no way that Forrest Fenn needed to tie a line to the bank. Like I don't even know how he did that. Like what does he do? Catch a fish? And then he starts like reeling out line like, okay, 150 feet. Or he ties it to a rock and then 150 feet up. Like no, like it was a very special spot. You know exactly how to get there. You walk right straight to it.
Hold on.
There's nothing about a string.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good. We're gonna have a debate here, and we like each other, and we disagree. So this is good. I wish you were. Do you want to just call it? Do you want to just come into the stream and we just talk face to face?
Can't right now because I'm almost done with my little.
All right. So string. So let's say, okay. Now, fishing line. Okay, how could he do it, right? Blah, 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 blah. So, Fenn picks a tree. This theory, and I don't like it, by the way. This theory implies that he needs to pick a random tree because why else would he need a fishing line to direct him to go back to this spot if he can't remember it, right? All right, so he has to pick a random tree, I guess, that he's going to put a blaze on or whatever. But how does he put the fishing line on? I mean, he just takes the fucking scissors and then he wraps it around, cuts it, ties it in a bow, takes another fishing line, wraps it into that, walks with it back across the Madison, wraps it around Fenn Rock, snips it, ties it up on Fenn Rock, goes back to his car, grabs the rest of the loot, follows this line of string in his hand all the way back to the spot. Like what's inconceivable about that?
You asking me?
Yeah.
It was the most special spot in his entire life. Like he's gonna lay down and die on a place that like he had to measure out with a 150 feet fishing line. Like,
but maybe okay. So here's the only way I can rationalize it because I agree with you. It doesn't add up to all the quotes he's given. What if all of us were wrong on something, Alan? I'm not sure what it was, but all of us were wrong on something. So in my opinion, that means we need to look at all the things most of the community would agree upon and find out what one of those things we're wrong of. So what if Fenn's idea of his final spot, his final resting spot, was just a random tree along the fucking 9 Mile Hole? And that was his trick the whole time. You had to figure out he just loved the 9 Mile Hole, and it didn't matter where in the 9 Mile Hole, because around this particular spot, he could always hear the water. He could always see the mountains. He could always look at the sky. He could always see an animal, and he could lay down. I mean, I'm not defending it. I'm just saying, what if that was the trick? What if we were all thinking it must be such a particular spot with such immaculate beauty, because why else would you want to die there? A random spot wouldn't make any fucking sense. But maybe Fenn embraced randomness. Maybe Fenn's whole personality was to embrace chaos, the out of orderness of life. How could he fly 328 missions and not get shot down once, and then boom, does get shot down? Yet he survives. He's able to see his family when others can't see their families. Many other soldiers next to him die in Vietnam. He doesn't. Survivor's guilt, the randomness of life. Maybe he's embracing the randomness of life, and he embraces it within the blaze of his treasure hunting poem. You have to accept chaos and randomness to find the treasure. Is that possible?
I mean, the words you're using and the way you're describing the chase is how I have it in my brain. But the way it was solved, nope. Sorry, Jack never said that he realized Forrest Fenn had a 150 foot spool of backline, not just any fishing line, backline now, because it's been clarified. Jack didn't know any of that shit. He found out where Forrest Fenn wanted to die. I mean, who are we going to believe? At this point, this is where I'm getting very frustrated. We believe Jack, who says one thing, who's the finder,
right?
Apparently. But then all of a sudden we hear things from Cynthia, which is like, no, a spool of thread, a spool of yarn. Like, no, that did not happen. So is Cynthia lying, or is Jack not telling the full truth? And this is where I get really frustrated because I almost don't care. Like, it's just, that's not even the purpose of anything. And I just don't believe anything that anyone says at this point. When it comes to like, this is the solve because XYZ, XYZs are garbage. As of this point, from what I can tell.
Agreed.
And even
Agreed.
Jack, yeah.
I've never been less interested in a solve in my life. And I'm talking about, like, Alan, also offline, I wanted to talk to you about how I think we did solve DB Cooper and whether or not there's something at our spot because someone already got it or because there was nothing there to get. I think we had the solve. I think we have the spot. We're going to go back and double check. I'm not ready to move on. Because we have a solve, we're never letting that go. But I'm also saying, like, let's get into some other legends, too. Because at this point, we're at a bust. Like, I'm ready to get back into, like, weird shit, like fucking Dutch. What's the other one? Lost Dutchman Mine. Not like Seven Cities. I don't want to get into that. But, like, there's a great. Okay, I found a great treasure hunting myth lore about oh god, where was it on the map? I think it was like Devil's Gate. Somebody intercepted a Wells Fargo wagon of silver near Devil's Gate in like Arizona, and like
it's actually close to me. I thought that was California. Maybe not. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know
like this is the kind of shit like I'm ready to get fucking into at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to, like, not move on, but just, like, let's use this effort for, not Devil's Gate. Sorry, not Devil's Gate. Devil's Gate is something else. You're right. That Devil's Gate, well, there's Devil's Gate in, like, Wyoming or Idaho or something like that, but
then, and again, not to interrupt, I'm totally fine moving on, and, like, that's why I like the DB Cooper thing, and that's why I went down that path, because it was like, I'm done with the whole Forrest Fenn thing, because it just spins in circles, and it can get super negative. But I'm also not just going to let it go.
Right.
Like, that is one thing I don't ever do, is let, like, oh, I guess Jack won. Bye, everyone. Like, nope. Never going to happen. But I don't know how much time and energy to invest into any of that. Because, again, back to the energy. Like, I'd rather just focus on things that make me happy, you know? So.
Hey, I found it. Hold on. I'm going to show it to you. Hold on. It was, Canyon Diablo Railroad Bridge. There is a treasure here, Alan, and it's not in this vicinity, but this is where the heist took place, right on this. Now, there's dispute about this railroad. Did it exist at the time of the heist, or is this a diverted path? And I've actually looked into the diverted path, and you can go back to Apache Death Cave and go to Wagon Box Straw. I'm telling you, I've looked into this shit, dude. This is probably my next treasure hunt that I'm gonna do. It's not Lost Dutchman, but it's right off Flagstaff. So Canyon Diablo, bro. And I don't mind
totally
if others
totally in.
Are you like I'm like super into it. There's a ghost town right around, like the remnants of one that we could just easily just metal detect, but allegedly there's a clue near the Canyon Diablo Railroad Bridge that takes you to somewhere else near Flagstaff, but north of Flagstaff, and I won't say where. So it's an interesting little treasure hunt, I think, that I might be getting myself into for this next, because I think we need something for this searcher season beyond Forrest Fenn right now. If Jack's not going to give us shit, and if we find out he hacked Fenn and we don't have a real solve and the family's not going to do anything, like, what the fuck else are we supposed to do?
And let's even delete that middle comment. Let's say,
Sorry. Is she sleeping? Okay. All right. Well, anyway, hold on one second. Have you ever been here? Have you been to this part of Arizona?
Never.
It's fun. I mean, it's desert. We can't go there in like fucking July. I'll tell you that. It'll be hot as shit. But here's what I'm calling for. Are you going to go to Yellowstone in June? Kind of for like the June 5th anniversary? I'm kind of feeling like something's going to happen.
I am not, personally. Not going to happen.
Okay. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is the beginning part of June is a perfect time to visit this kind of spot. So I'm probably going to go like last week of May, beginning part of June, and kind of like station up here for a couple of days, metal detect and search my search area here. And then after that's done, I'll end up going north and then I'll head over to Yellowstone. So like, even if you just want to do the Arizona portion with me, I'm thinking I'm probably going to do that like end of May, beginning of June.
I like that. That's much more reasonable for me, at least.
And what we could do, honestly, what we could really do here is it would be a pain in the butt ski, but not too much. We would drive east to this spot in Arizona, and then from this spot, we'd go northwest back up to Reno, and then check our spot out, and then we'd go back northeast up to West Yellowstone. If we were going to do the big giant thing and you were down for all of it and you had like, 10 days to do this, that's what we would do. We'd go spot in Arizona, back up to Reno, Nevada, then to Yellowstone, and then just directly back home.
All right. You hire the babysitters.
I know, right? In a perfect world.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else, man?
No, I'm good. But I do want to say, like, the reason why I doubt is, like,
Yeah,
I think the animosity is getting tiring.
it is.
I understand being passionate about, this or that. Jack, you hate Jack, you love Jack. You hate Force, you love Force. You hate searchers, you love searchers. But, when I signed up for this, 6 years ago, it wasn't about that. It was like, yeah, you could hate someone for like, oh, it's not New Mexico. It's not Montana. It's not Wyoming. It's not in, Texas. That's what we were arguing. Now it's almost like we're like attacking people, like for their personal beliefs. And it's getting ridiculous. And like, I don't know. And I understand I'm attacking Jack for saying things. And I guess I'm just frustrated. So just want to dial in and say all of those things.
I'll say this. I think you represent a lot of the community and where they're at right now. So I appreciate the sentiments.
All right, man.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers. K-Pro asked me, Warriors, how big of a treasure is it? Well, I mean, you want to get into it for a minute? We'll get into it. So we're talking Canyon, Diablo, right? All right. So see if my keyboard works. Canyon, Diablo, treasure. Outlaw loot and Flagstaff. Over approximately $125,000 at the time. I hate telling people about my fucking secret searches, though. I don't want more people looking for that shit. I don't know who's calling. Let's see.
Call from
Searchers community.
Oh, it's from the searchers community.
+1.
Hello, community. Where are you calling from?
Hey, we're calling from Colorado. As a matter of fact, Salida, Colorado. You ever been there?
Where in Colorado?
Salida, Colorado. Very small town. In 2010, it was very depressed.
I've never heard of it.
It's a great community. It's all ranchers and farmers. It's not a city at all. It's a cowboy town.
Interesting. I like cowboy towns, though. So.
Yeah, it's a great place. Commerce is dead. The economy's in the dump. People are hurting out here. And, the reason I called is, from my understanding and reading the Forrest Fenn story, Fenn hid the treasure hoping that he could make someone's life better. And, that's what I read into that. So in that sense, I would think that he's a very dignified, intelligent, talented man.
Didn't he also say, though, that when you found the treasure, you'd be opening up Pandora's box?
Yeah, he did, because there's legal implications involved, no matter where that chest was.
So why would he want to give anybody legal nightmares? Because if honestly, anybody who's gone through legal nightmares, like sometimes it's not worth, the juice is not worth the squeeze.
Yeah, correct. That's what you're experiencing right now. Jack is under the microscope. He exposed himself. When Forrest Fenn told you exactly what to do with that treasure chest,
go in peace.
In the poem. Yeah, go in peace. Absolutely tell no one where you found it from. Well, we have a thing called the law in the United States of America, and unfortunately, you're going to have to tell a police officer where you found it from, because this is a world-renowned treasure hunt.
Right.
There's no way that Jack can take that treasure, announce himself that he is the finder, and then go away.
Right.
That's not part of this. Mr. Fenn wanted to point out some things in life, I do believe.
Do you believe, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah, please.
Do you believe that Jack was forced to give us his identity because of a lawsuit brought on by a fellow searcher? Or do you think otherwise?
Yeah, I think otherwise. Barbara Anderson had a pending suit against anybody that found that chest. That means immediately you are going to be placed under a microscope. You won't be arrested, but you're going to explain yourself as to exactly where you found that chest. So there's no way, Jack. That's why he's not speaking with you. He's under a gag order. Everybody associated with that find, including Finn's family, and everybody's under gag order. What Mr. Fenn did eloquently enough that we need to study here as a community, there's such a thing called a quitclaim deed. Now, nowhere in the poem did it state that you were supposed to announce yourself to the world. Even Fenn explained to sit on it for 30 days and think about what you're going to do because of the legal ramifications. No matter where you found it, there's going to be a cop waiting for you to explain yourself. And that means you're going to take those people right back to where you exactly found it.
Right.
And there's no way to get around that. So whether you knew the poem or not, you walked out with a treasure chest. Go steal the Mona Lisa and try to think the same thing Jack did. That is essentially what has taken place here. So that's why the conspiracy theories are running rampant. There's a lot of information here that we can go through, and Fenn stated to himself clearly. This whole treasure chest Fenn set up was about empathy, about honesty, about understanding each other. And unfortunately, Mr. Fenn and his family are still suffering to this day. There's a quitclaim deed. When Jack went to Forrest and handed him that chest, he tried. Jack, Forrest wouldn't let him in because Forrest knows Jack's a thief. He didn't follow the clues of the poem. He didn't do what Forrest said. So he had to end up at a lawyer's office, which immediately locked that chest up. And they took his deposition. And what Jack told him is exactly where he found it, all proud. And, well, those lawyers and the cops are already on this. Whoever found it anywhere, the cops are going to be all over it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to prove yourself with physical evidence, proof, not hearsay. When we get hearsay, we have what's going on in the community for a year and a half. Now, I'm going to be so bold as to say there is one searcher out there who's been trying to get through to all you folks. He's been posting on your sites the exact solve, and things that transpired. And you folks don't want to listen to that. But by God, one thing that's going on here right now is Jack is under federal investigation because he took that treasure chest off Browns Canyon National Monument. And I witnessed him. He had two others with him, one young man and one young girl. So now only Jack does not have to tell his story. He's got two younger people.
I mean, do you have proof of that, though? I mean, do you have photo evidence of that?
I have photo evidence of the blade.
But photo evidence of Jack on the scene.
Oh, I met him on the trail.
But do you have evidence of it, though? People need to see proof of that.
Yeah, they do, because there's two endings to the poem. Let's go to the double omega. They play a significant part here. The first omega, its explanation is clearly Take the chest, go in peace. Absolutely tell no one. Your quest to cease, I give you title of gold. That's your first Omega explained. Your second Omega, call the proper authorities, Browns Canyon National Monument Park Superintendent. Your quest to cease, I give you title to the gold. That's exactly what I did after I confronted Jack. That's why you're hearing no word from this man. They don't want him to tell his story. He's a thief. And, you know, not that Fenn wanted to hurt anybody, but the way I read it, he's going to jail. Now let's back all this up with some more evidence. Mr. Fenn was under federal investigation for the same thing, taking artifacts off public lands and selling them for tremendous profits. There were more people than Fenn doing that. In fact, federal agents came in to raid him to stop it all because people were making tremendous profits, picking up Native American artifacts. By the way, they are the first Americans on this soil, and they're selling them for tremendous profits. And yet, we have done nothing but treated the Native Americans worse than the Jewish population. And to this day, we have nothing to correct ourselves in. So,
well, that
Mr.
part
Fenn
I would agree with.
Yeah, he has a very powerful story. Mr. Fenn bought Sitting Bull's peace pipe.
I don't believe that at all. I don't believe he has Sitting Bull's peace pipe.
Yeah, that's a major acquisition.
It is, but I don't believe it to be true whatsoever. I think that's been the biggest fraud of the whole chase.
Yeah, it's part of Mr. Fenn's story. They got a video out on YouTube with him actually, with an acquaintance of Sitting Bull that's still living, telling the story about all of it.
But again, though, I want to ask you, do we have photos of Jack at this spot? When you say you met him, you rolled into him, do you have photos? Anything? His car or something?
Right now, I don't need anything because I called the park superintendent and turned Jack in.
So does the park superintendent have some kind of record of this?
Yeah, it's on my phone. And there's more things that are pinged on my phone before all this came out to the media. Now, if everybody is paying particularly close attention, when it was first announced, every major network in the world announced found in Colorado. That went down immediately.
Hey, I have said this since day one, that when I was scouring Dale's website the day it was announced found, for 5 minutes, and no one's been able to corroborate this, but for 5 minutes, there was a small square snapshot of the Uncompahgre River in Colorado on Dale's main page, and it was on there for 5 minutes, and then it was taken down.
I hit him with the saw dead on. He never published it. He had it on for just a short period of time.
Right, but you're one of many, man. I mean, how many people are emailing Dale with their saws, right? Come on. Well, hundreds, thousands.
That's the confusion here. That's part of what Fenn wanted to point out in this whole treasure chest is look what his family went through. Just because.
Right. Jack is experiencing that full front.
Right. So, hey, it is so simple, you'll fall off your chair. I've explained it to you before. It's been on your site. Calzgar's got it. Toby's got it. There's a reason all these people are backing out and keeping their mouth quiet. So what's going on here is we have a YouTube video resume of everybody's explanation of how they found it, where they found it. Okay, well, there's one person that found it. That's Jack. Now, he has to tell a federal judge exactly where he found that, and that judge will render decisions right on down the line with other court cases. These people mean business. They do not play by your rules or my rules. It's the law. We all pay by law. Where is Jack? I challenge him right now to come out, and he won't because he is in serious trouble. He stole the $2 million treasure chest off a national monument. Now, according to the law, you can't even take trash out of the trash can and walk off a national monument with it, much less a pebble of rock. It states clearly in the law it's best just to take pictures and walk away. And guess what, my friend? That's exactly what I did. So there's a reason all this is going on. There's a reason I know what I know.
Well, then do you have pictures of the chest?
We have pictures of the chest, yes.
Can you send them to me?
Pipe. You know what? There's nothing for me to worry about. As Fenn said, as the finder, you just sit back and relax. So I'm not claiming that I'm even interested in the money as everybody else. I don't know that I even have it because there were rules to follow. If you called Mr. Fenn and said you found the chest, he put a video out right before all this. If you called Mr. Fenn and said you found the chest, you would be blocked from the thrill of the chase, all your emails erased. Now, that's a key clue. Why? Fenn hid the chest. He knows exactly where it is. He knew that there would be cheaters and fools, and he doesn't want to read your emails when you've got thousands of people saying, I found that chest. They don't know what they were talking about. You know, the home of Browns, very clear. It's Browns, the home of Browns. And you have Browns National Monument. The summit is the home of Browns. Where I found the treasure chest is 200 feet below the summit of the home of Browns, Browns Canyon National Monument. So what you will find is all these clues match precisely with the poem. And there's redundancy built in. Whether you're hiking or rafting to the treasure chest location, you're in the same area, but you're rafting a different location or you're hiking a different location to get to the treasure chest. No paddle up my creek? Well, you got to follow a dry creek bed. It's the main drainage that comes out of Railroad Gulch Valley. That's your no paddle up my creek. But they don't start at the same place. If you're hiking in, that starts at a different area. If you're rafting in, that starts, but they both bisect in a cottonwood gallery, which is a beautiful cottonwood gallery. That is if you are in the woods. Now that stick that was in the chest, it was put in that chest because that stick, the cottonwood stick, it's evident. Actually, a snakehead snake stick that popped out of the chest looked like a rattlesnake when you opened it. That's why you either fainted or laughed, my friend. So you have lots of information to give out, but do I really want to give it to the community? Finn's family was terrorized by you. They broke in his house, everything. That is not why that man hid that chest. He hid the chest to get people off the computer, out in nature and enjoying it. But unfortunately, there's just a small group of the Fenn Chase community that doesn't have a clue on what life is. Empathy, honesty, understanding each other, okay?
Right.
We're not here to defame, blame, point fingers. You got the master right here. I picked the treasure chest up, played with it for 3 days because I found it on National Monument and I knew I did. And there's no worry or reason about anything. I didn't have to worry at all. I knew where the chest was. So anybody come in and take it, I knew where it was. They'd have a challenge. And my challenge, their challenge would be me. My story's been out there for a year and 6 months. According to my understanding, I love you, brother. Don't take me wrong. You don't like Facebook. I suggest you go to Facebook. All the proof you need right there. So let's start studying facts. Let's stop pointing fingers. You guys, you've been trying the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Look where you are. And you've even said it out loud that you have nothing. You know nothing. Well, now you have nothing. You have something. You have the solve. That should rest you all in peace. Let's not argue it out anymore. Jax is up for federal investigation. And we have another court suit coming up here that's going to tie things up. So let's all rest in peace. Follow that court case. It is serious what Jax did. Fenn was charged with the same offense. He got away with it. His 2 friends committed suicide. That's pretty much a guilty plea to me. They're ripping off artifacts. Nowadays, that law was so serious that you cannot take any artifacts without calling the proper authorities and the proper documentation as to where it was found. That's the whole point here. You have to have a serial number at that point in time. So no longer can you just be wandering in the woods, find, one of Cordova's helmets and sell it for $120,000. Those days are over. And Fenn wanted to point this out to the world.
Yeah.
I mean, the world's watching you and I in this video and everything. So that's how serious this game is. Now, the internet doesn't have rules about fake news or anything, but I imagine Forrest wanted to point that out. I don't know much about him. I respect him, but I will never degrade a man that wanted and gave hope to people. All you had to do was get off the couch and get outdoors. So y'all have great solves. It's just unfortunate for a year and a half you've been wrestling with the wrong one when the solve has been right in front of your face. So let's go through it real quick.
No more on the solves. The Browns.
Yeah, I know.
That one I let you go on that one, but we can't get back into that. I like the solve.
Yeah.
I've gone back to it on my own, and I like it a lot. It was a spot that I overlooked because I was an avid Colorado searcher, but I didn't pick it out. So I like it because I didn't even pick it out. But let me let you go there. I appreciate it though. I appreciate it, man. I really do.
You too. Love, peace. You got it. We'll all be in touch with each other. No one has to run and hide.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous place. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Let's all be a family. And,
All right, man.
All
Take
right.
it easy.
See you later, brother.
Bye. Force Frenzy says it's unbelievable how many of these posers there are. And my question back to you is, Justin posers?
Smoke weed every day. Wake up. Smoke weed every day. Wake up. Smoke weed every day. Wake up. Smoke weed every day.
Come on. I love that one. I was thinking of that one for like 10 minutes now. So All right, I feel good now. Anyway, I think there are other people who want to call in, but I'm gonna put music on in the meantime. Smoke weed every day. That's what I do every day. I'm walking around the house. It's not. That's not even the beat or the tune to the song, and I go. Hey, Boob. I call her Boob sometimes. Smoke weed every day. No, nothing. She's looking at me with heart sunglasses, and the thumbs up, and then she rolled over. She's taking a nappy nap. Lone Wolf's the best part of the show. All right. Wait, we haven't even gotten into K-Pro's video yet, have we? It's been 2.5 hours. We haven't even done the video yet. OMG. All right, K-Pro Corner. My God. All right, here's the new one. Let's get it going.
Do on a pretty consistent basis.
No, there's someone calling in from fucking. All right. Last call, and then we'll get into this.
Call from
Nomadic. Mad.
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello, Nomadic Madman. How are you?
Hey, Ben.
How are you,
How
man?
you doing?
I'm all right.
Hey, good. I had two things I've been thinking about that I just wanted to bring up. Well, first you were showing the photos of the chest earlier.
Right.
Have you looked at the Barbarisi chest photos yet?
I have.
Okay. I thought maybe I haven't looked at them in a while, but I was thinking maybe they showed the left and the right side so that you can get a better idea whether there's an issue with that.
I'm fairly certain he only shows us one angle. It's kind of interesting, but it's the other side.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one thing I wanted to mention, but okay, that solves that. The other item, hey, I was watching the Copper Dan and Pecker Jack show today. It was last Tuesday's episode, I think. And Pecker Jack showed an image of the bag with the dragon bracelet and had the scissors in it. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It just surprised me because I had not seen that before, and I didn't know where it came from. Do you know where it came from?
I don't either, and I invite Packer Jack to share more info on that.
Because that seemed like a new photo to me.
I'm not sure myself. And I mean, do we see both objects?
Well, the other one looks like it's still wrapped in the
right.
Towel
when it's wrapped. Here's my question.
Kind of
here's my question. Here's my question. Have you followed the arguments both for and against of the fact that there was a paper towel wrapped around the dragon bracelet in the found chest photo, and this paper towel was so soaked that it became translucent?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And I know someone did an experiment with that.
Right.
And validated it, but
correct. But
I still don't think so.
Right. Here's my question back. Fair. But that means that paper towel should be constantly soaked to the point where in this photo, it's so soaked, we see through it. Yet the chest is bone dry. So how is the paper towel translucent when the chest is bone dry?
There's no water in that.
There's no water in that chest, man. We have a
I can see
weird
this.
fake found photo, and we don't need Photoshop to prove it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's strange.
Anyways, those are the two items I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
I'm sure there's more, but that's all I got.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. Call back in anytime, dude. I appreciate when you call.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, dude.
Have a good day.
Yeah, man. Anytime. Bye. All right. I'm taking the number down. That was a cool final call for a minute. I'll put it back up, but let's watch this fucking K-Pro video, right? Isn't that what we were going to do?
Is confirm whether the
Oh my God, we have another call. I got Bavetta. All right, I got Bavetta calling. I'm going to do it because Bavetta's calling.
Call from Bavetta Workshop. To accept, press.
What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right. It's just a chill Sunday.
I just had something
Sunday, right?
to think about watching the K-Pro video here.
Yeah.
There, you know, people have posted about 9 Mile Hole solves before. Like, there's, I can send you over a Reddit post in GChat that goes over the basically as good as we got for a 9 Mile Hole solve.
Right.
Back in 2017, and they even have I'll send you another link, an image showing like the path that they would take over to the island and exactly to the spot where it's as good as we know it might have been there.
I'm
And
not convinced
so,
on
like,
the island, but sure.
Well, yeah, I'm just going. Yeah, I'm totally not convinced either. But in talking about 9 Mile Hole.
Yeah.
So like, what I wonder is like, you know, everybody saw this, or a lot of people saw this. Why wasn't everyone as convinced as Jack was? Like, if they saw this, why didn't they go and spend 25 days looking there? You know, what was the extra piece of information that Jack had? That convinced him that this was it, because as far as we know, that, you know, if this is a solve, then it was already out there, you know.
Right. And frankly, what part, I'm going to put the number back up because I think this is a great topic, but what makes Jack more convinced of this spot than any spot, to the point where he grid searches 25 days? That already puts him in such a weird echelon of searchers of 0.1% where he's so convinced. Yet we know his public statements where he says, you as the Condor 2, you can never be more than 20% sure. Anything more than 10% is probably worth the boots on the ground, but you can never be more than 20% sure unless you have access to Forrest Fenn's 2009 GPS data. So how is Jack so certain of this area to grid search it for 25 days in full, when he himself says confirmation bias is our crazy evil twin that wants to kill us, and also you can't be more than 20% sure? Yet Jack goes counter to both these thought processes.
Yeah, so I don't have anything. Like, the best I could say, like, the only piece of information that was kind of confirmatory and somewhat secret at the time was the Ramblings and Rumblings document from Fenn. That was kind of traded on the underground, I think, at the time. And that has the one sentence about Charlie, his grandfather, fishing there, and that was Charlie's favorite spot, and that they would race to get there. So there was one piece of information, but I don't find that as convincing. You know, that doesn't do it for me, at least.
What if Jack is describing exactly, or I'm sorry, what if the Condor is describing exactly what the finder did? They had access to Fenn's 2009 GPS data, and they got a general location.
Yeah. I mean, if he had access to, I mean, like, Yeah, if you had access to Fenn's location, that makes it pretty easy.
It really does. I mean, even if it's okay, let me ask you this: is it plausible? Because you've come on and gone, hey, some of the stuff Brandon Man is saying doesn't make sense. Like you've called foul on some certain aspects and not all things. So I think you're very level-headed. Is it possible if Forrest would, let's say in 2009, throughout the year, zoom in and zoom out of the spot on Google Earth, right? Is that zooming in and zooming out? Is that history tracked by Google? Is that accessible as, quote, history?
Well, so, you know, I think the default state for all these things, if you just like hit yes as you sign up for your Google account, is that it'll track your search history, and that includes searches like in Maps and in regular Google search. So if you search for something, it would be in the search history, and to get into there, you know, so if he's just scrolling around, it wouldn't show up. But if he's searching for it, it probably would show up. I think the worst part would be the location history, which if you look up your Google location history, you know, it has little dots that show exactly where you went throughout the day.
Right.
Now, yeah, and if you've never looked at that, you should pull it up because it's pretty amazing the amount of data that
it's crazy scary. It really is. I try to turn as much of it off as I can, and I still can't turn it all off. And
yeah,
so Redneck brings up a point. Forrest wasn't stupid or reckless. He said he didn't even have a cell phone during that time, Ben. We're not saying Jack is tracking Forrest's movements in 2009. What I think I'm alluding to, at least, and Bavetta is at least commenting on, is that Fenn, after at least hiding it in 2009, because I firmly believe he hid it in 2009, because go back to my origin story, the guy said he already hid it, and that was in 2009. But Jack says, go back to his 2009 history. What we're talking about is Fenn, his history on his laptop, not his history of movement, but what Fenn has actually done on his laptop. Did he heart the location on Google for 32 seconds and then remove it going, oh, that's stupid, I shouldn't do that in case anyone gets on my laptop? But it's saved and tracked. You know what I mean? Has he clicked on the spot and measured distance from the GPS location to the road? Is that movement that he made on Google Earth tracked, and can that be found by a hacker?
Yeah, I mean, Fenn, what one thing that Fenn said was that he looked out for keywords, right?
Right.
So, in his email. So you can kind of see if he's searching for keywords.
You can search his search, right? You can search his search.
Yeah.
So if Fenn is typing in, for instance, let's say,
or if he has automated, just like if he has a thing, anything that mentions this,
flagging
like
it,
right? Or something.
So he either has an auto flag function that just does it for him, and maybe he's smart for that and goes, no, I shouldn't have an auto flag in case someone gets on this. So he's just searching every time he goes on, and he thinks there's no trace of it. If he was searching, let's say, 9 Mile Hole in his search 76 times a year, as opposed to anything else that's like way underneath, wouldn't you deduce, if you could get that information, oh shit, he searches 9 Mile Hole all the time, it must be 9 Mile Hole?
Yeah. Now I have to caveat, I'm not sure that the Gmail searches are recorded, but they, I'm just not sure there.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Could they gain remote access and watch Fenn's laptop?
Oh yeah.
And totally. So let's say it's a Saturday or Sunday night right now, right? What time is it where you live? No, it's 4:20 where I live. Hey, 4:20. And I didn't mean that. I wasn't setting you up. I wasn't even going to do smoke weed every day. I'm not going to do it because we're having a good conversation, but that's fucking funny. Anyway, all right. But let's pretend it's 4:20 on a Sunday, and Fenn just decides to open his email, and the first thing he does, instead of reading all the 300 messages, he just types in first 9 Mile Hole just to see if anybody said it to him. If Jack has happened,
100%, yeah,
yes, he can see that
he's vulnerable. The only reason you're safe from hacking is because you're not a target. If someone is a target of hacking, like they basically will eventually get hacked unless they're like disconnected from the internet.
Right. It doesn't matter if he has a server in his house, right? If it's connected to the World Wide Web, it is vulnerable.
Yeah, and about that server thing, he mentioned that his server got shut down or whatever. He was using Earthlink at the time for email.
Yeah.
And they had very small inbox sizes.
Yeah.
Like back in the day. And what would happen is your inbox would get full.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't accept any more emails. So I think
Right.
that's just what he's saying, is that his server got, he doesn't know how it works. He's saying his server got full.
He thinks the service self-deletes everything when there's always a trace. He thinks it's all just gone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And would he changed from Earthlink to a Gmail address at some point, and with Gmail, you have a much bigger inbox. So
right, but then you have a much
didn't
bigger
want to do
footprint, and you have a much bigger footprint to trace and hack.
yeah. So this was totally a vulnerable thing, unless he just like locked up where it went and threw away the key and never looked into it. But we have evidence that he didn't, because he was saying he was looking for keywords and things like that.
Let's put out a scenario and tell me if it's hypothetical a hacker could do this. Okay, so they have embedded. I'm using bland words, not hacker terms, just so everyone understands. They have embedded Forrest's computer with a virus via an email they sent 6 months ago, and it had a virus on it via a picture. They established trust with him. They socially engineered him, and he clicked on the picture. And now they have access. They're worried if they remotely access that maybe he has some monitoring device and it will flag it. So they don't want to abuse the access they have. They're telling themselves, no matter what we have at one time. Let's only think we have it one time only, right? So they decide they want to email him something very provocative to get him thinking, let's say, right? So they assume maybe 9 Mile Hole. I don't know. They just assume Yellowstone or something, right? They send him a very provocative email. Is it possible that they then decide, okay, we send him this email in hopes that he'll read it and go, oh, man, they were so close. And he just goes and looks at Google Maps, right? Now, they've decided to use the remote access at this moment after they send the email, and they're going to wait. They're going to say, okay, we got ourselves a 6-hour window before he finds out, and this is the one time we have. Even if he doesn't find out, great, we'll do this again. But worst case scenario, we have one shot here. We're going to watch now for the next 6 hours or until we get kicked off. And as they're watching, they see Fenn get online, and he just decides to go to Google Maps and zoom in on the spot for half a minute. Can they see that?
Yeah, totally. I mean, they could send him a link to like view, check out this spot that I was searching, and it's not Google Maps. It's like pseudo Google Maps, where the search bar is, actually sending them information or something.
Right. Okay, so all of this is plausible. Doesn't mean Jack did any of this. It just means this isn't movie stuff. This isn't like TV stuff, or maybe, God forbid, if you've just been away from this world because you're older or because you just turned a blind eye to this world, you just didn't like it. This stuff is real, and it can happen to anybody. Nobody, just because Fenn is some mythical character who hid a treasure, he's not immune from being hacked.
Yeah. Oh, totally. This was for 10 years to be vulnerable like that makes it even more likely to be a victim of hacking.
The longer the chase went, the more likely it was going to be that he got hacked, in my opinion. and
yeah,
I mean, do you read into the comment of the Fenn's GPS data? Do you think? Why do you think Condor would make such an abrasive comment like that?
I mean, it is interesting that he jumped to that, because he could have used any number of examples of of data that would give it away.
It was quite specific.
It's somewhat. I do find it interesting. I don't think that it's and especially combined with all the other things that we know that he was, or that we think that he was referencing that have turned out to seem like they correlate to what was going on.
Right.
And if this was another one of those things that he was kind of referencing, it might make it more likely than not, since he was doing it for the same thing for the other things.
Works for me, man. Anything else?
No. Yep. Thanks.
I appreciate it, man. Always good talking with you. We're gonna talk offline too. We got to catch up. I want to catch up on their shit. We got to catch up on some of the stuff we're talking about too.
Sounds good.
All right, man.
See ya later.
All right. I'm taking this off. I don't even know why I put it back on. All right. Now we're gonna do K-Pro's video.
Have that confirmation. it seems.
There are some problems that come with this treasure hunt.
Okay.
No, that's not true. There's a way to know, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
So what we will be going over in part 2 is some new information that verifies part 1, that the treasure chest was found in 2019 by Jack. He didn't recover and retrieve the treasure chest until 2020. The second portion is the find, and immediately thereafter, June 5th, and shortly thereafter, lots of details of what happened. Then the aftermath. Everything that has happened, basically up until now. Just some key highlights, not all the details. And then part 3. Will part 3 happen? And what is happening in our Chase community? So where do we lead off in part 1? Part 1, Jack had devised a plan. He finds the treasure chest, as he did in 2019. Right. He would leave it, get his Puerto Rican tax exemption status, move there, as Forrest left him a shit show. And Jack didn't think that things were thought through by Forrest with the IRS or Yellowstone National Park. So part 1 is more evidence that has rolled in from different tubers and other sources.
Oh, sure, X-Mark. Someone could have bugged Forrest's office for all we know. I mean, why not? Who knows?
The treasure chest was actually discovered in 2019.
Now, you have said on several occasions you're stepping back from the treasure hunt, kind of taking a break or a moment from all of the emails and everything that you have out there. You've been re-engaged recently with many scrapbooks and press, etc.
Well, I'm about to run out of things to think about.
Jack is quoted saying, "Helped by logic, my experience on the ground at the location, and a hint in the book, I figured out what the blaze was in late 2018. In Dan Barbarisi's book, Jack describes aspects of the treasure chest find.
The water. We were just getting into this.
The dragon bracelet in a plastic bag filled with water. The other important items were in bags as well, brimming with water. As you can see from this picture, there is no water.
This shit's going dry.
Brimming with water.
How do people not fucking scream about this every day?
Was the water from 2019 when Jack found the treasure chest, or when he recovered it in 2020? Credit Packer Jack. Another quote out of Dan Barbarisi's book. Then he saw the key to the treasure chest, badly rusted up against one of the gold coins, covered in spider webs. It had all clearly been here a long time. He saw the olive jar, said to contain Fenn's autobiography.
So speculation without proof. It does. Again, there's logic to some of this. The chest is brimming with water. There's no water. What are we talking about here? There's dirt. It's dry. What? I don't need proof to validate the fact that I see a dry chest when he describes it as wet.
He took it out.
His description, which is invalid, is proof itself.
Said the few words he could. They were about things related to Fenn's life. He put it back amid the water-logged bags and grime-covered coins.
Ooh, good. Thank you, Bavetta. Gmail searches do get recorded to Google search history. Oof. That makes it so much easier for a hacker.
And web-filled chest. Water-logged bags.
Waterlogged bags.
Here, the picture provided, and we.
Waterlogged bags? Are you kidding me? You can see the wrinkles because there's no water. It's empty with air, with nothing. These are dry, which is why when you look right here at the dragon bracelet, there is no paper towel covering it right now. It's nothing. It's just in there because this is a staged photo.
See,
I'll be back. I'm listening.
A substantial amount of water. There might be a little bit, maybe giving the benefit of the doubt, but waterlogged This just doesn't match the photos provided from the find, or I should say, the retrieval in 2020. Obviously, I didn't find it on my first few trips in 2018, so I had to face the prospect that the treasure probably wasn't there. I tried my best to consider other spots, but in late 2018, I had another aha moment and encountered enough new circumstantial evidence that I felt the total body of evidence I had collected to that point definitely proves that was where Forrest wanted to die, as daunting as it was to keep looking in a spot that had been a loser for me. He's focusing only on 2018. Jack says the treasure chest is filthy, covered in mud, Ziploc bags filled with water. And then we see the pictures that Jack himself revealed. I don't see the treasure chest being filthy, covered in mud, or the Ziploc bags filled with water. Perhaps this was from the 2019
What mud?
rather than the
What mud? There's no mud here. There's no mud. There's dirt. Jack. You know what time it is.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
That one's gonna hurt. Oh, that one's gonna hurt me. Oh shit. We need music. We need music. Shit, we're gonna do the fucking thing. You can't do music. We'll go back to this. All right.
credit. Treasure Warriors.
Ooh.
We have two quotes from Jack. The first is, "It did help protect the interior of my pack from getting filthy from the treasure." He was referencing the IKEA bag he used. The second, "The treasure was filthy and got dirt all over the interior I had it in. I spent a night at the hotel on my way to New Mexico and wiped dirt off everything with the hotel towels." The top picture is the picture of the filthy and muddy treasure chest that was waterlogged. On the lower right,
somebody's kid is crying right now, and their parent is doing absolutely nothing about it. Like, they're just wailing into the fucking wind. This motherfucker is just standing there in the corner of his house, like watching, like he's teaching this kid a fucking lesson or something. Meanwhile, all his neighbors have to hear it. Oh, I hope I get into a war with this fucking neighbor too. This piece of shit. You know what he does? This is what he does. He washes his BMW in the clouds before the rain comes. That's when he washes his car. Fucking loser. No, fucking no. That requires this fucking fuck. I need weed.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
Nope, now he has the wife doing it. Now the wife is out. He stares and watches for fucking 5 minutes and then has the wife come out and do it. Amazing. Amazing. I hope somehow he gets a copy of this stream so he understands that his neighbors know he's a fucking idiot. Kids cry, it's part of life. That's fine. But you don't have to have all your neighbors fucking hear it. You don't just have them wailing outside. It's like in a restaurant. You're just gonna have them screaming and wailing in the restaurant. Take them outside. Be a fucking dick. Capra says he's probably gonna go do laundry. Well then shit, he's better than me. Ashley's napping. It's all right. It takes a village to raise a... Don't come to his defense, all of you. Pussies. Pussies. He washes his BMW in the rain, people.
Hey, let's this kid scream all fucking day.
You guys don't see this or hear this, but this is all day. This is all day. From 7 a.m. this morning. They just put him outside and they just cry all day. I can't get over it. I need it to end. It hurts my feelings every day that this happens, and I have to witness it every day. JK says they weren't raised by a village. I wasn't raised by a fucking village either.
I raised myself.
Yeah, Ashley raised her fucking self.
So.
My dad raised me. Indy, again, this isn't a referendum on whatever this child is or isn't. It's a referendum on the parents. Let's move on. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. I just gotta move on. It's fine. It's fine.
Baba Booey.
Yeah, Baba Booey.
I'm Pickle Rick. God damn it.
God, right? Like,
God damn it.
Ugh. I swear to God, Indy, you kill my buzz in Vegas, I am going to buy you a drink that will destroy you, and you won't see it coming. You're going to assume, oh, it's just a fun little drink that Ben just brought me at the middle of Ellis Island. Meanwhile, it's called an Irish car bomb, and you're going to puke in about 20 minutes. I'm just saying, I can fuck people up in ways they don't even realize. Where I've done nothing but order a specific drink from a bar that I know will do a specific thing to a specific person's stomach. I'm that evil. Don't fuck with me. What up, boo? Peace. We're not done. We're going. Fuck this. I don't like the ending of this chase. I don't like the explanations I've gotten. Until Shiloh comes up. You know what? Maybe we just go all day, all night, forever, until Shiloh comes and tells us what the fuck's going on. What do you say, babe?
Dear goddess in heaven.
She said no.
No, no, and no.
She said no, no, and no again.
And no.
You underestimate my power.
You know who that? Who's that? Who was that? Who was that?
It's irrelevant because
Liar!
Who was it? Anakin Skywalker.
Why would I know Star Wars? That's
Oh,
ridiculous.
God.
That's the one thing.
Oh, my fiance said, why would I know Star Wars? Guess what we're watching tonight,
No,
boo?
No.
Episode 3, bae.
Pretty sure we're watching Preacher.
And Preacher. And Preacher.
Never. No Star
One
Wars.
episode of Preacher. Star Wars Episode 3.
No.
Then another episode of Preacher.
No,
I've seen all of
Natalie
Preacher.
Portman beat me out for that role, so I'm anti.
Ashley auditioned for...
Nay, tested for.
Ashley tested. Tested means she got down to the final select few people to test with the higher-ups of who would play Padme. And Natalie Portman beat Ashley Powers' ass.
Fucking Portman.
She's Natalie Portman.
She's Natalie Portman.
She was in Leon the Professional.
Okay, all right.
You had no chance.
It's fine.
You had absolutely
it's not like
no
I'm
chance.
Still upset about
You
it.
were a blonde. Although blonde makes more sense for Anakin Skywalker's lineage, actually, right? His mom is blonde. Boys, in a weird Oedipus way, go after their fucking... He should have been after a blonde. I'm just saying Anakin should have been after a blonde. That's all I'm saying. There's evidence behind this. Either way, Natalie Portman beat your ass, and you didn't get to be Padme. If you were Padme, we never would have ever gotten together.
Why?
I mean, maybe in high school that originally might have still happened.
You could have still got together again if I was Padme now.
No, if you were Padme, you would have become superstar. In a way where you would have been put on a level that I wouldn't have been able to breach again from the underneath, unless I myself got that famous. That's how that goes. I'm shit out of luck in that case.
Well, maybe so.
The universe kept you from becoming Padme so that you could be with me,
Well,
because I'm more important than Star Wars.
Then I shouldn't be mad at Natalie Portman. I should just be mad at you.
I'm more important than Star Wars.
Okay, that's why we don't have to watch it.
You are fake news.
What?
What?
Yes, come in.
No, I watched a 30-minute long video.
It's coming.
I'm gonna quote this question. I watched a 30-minute long video. Is the pizza here? Haven't we all been there? Haven't we all asked that question of our moms and dads? And we want to know when this darn pizza is gonna get here. If back in our day, what? It's Jersey Mike's. Oh. Why did you say pizza? Now I want pizza, man.
You have Jersey Mike's.
All right, get out of here. We're smoking. Go away.
No pizza.
Jersey Mike's is fine. All right, shut the door.
You get ice cream.
Okay.
I get ice cream. Jeepers, creepers, lemon peepers. Nice sunglasses, by the way. Have people seen this? You should go on camera and show them this. Show them your comfy thing. What's it called?
It's a comfy. You got it right.
Oh, it's called a comfy. Okay.
You've been living with me long enough that now you know the cool terminology of all the things.
I know all the things.
Okay.
Come say hi.
Okay, hi. Here's my
And then-
comfy. And then here's what I'm rocking right now, guys. This is my Sunday look.
That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
That's probably what will be going on Vegas at like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm bringing this to Vegas, guys.
I'll still be in a poker tournament after even World Series of Fenn or playing cash games or something after Ellis Island. Ashley will go to bed. She'll come back down at like 4 in the morning because she'll think she has to take the kids to school.
Yep.
And then she'll just walk down to the casino looking for me, and she's going to find me at the poker room, and she's going to be dressed just like what she's dressed right now.
You guys are here for
Book it. Take it to the bank. It's going to happen. If you want to be a creep, you can take a photo. But you got to be in the casino to do that. Indy says, hold on, what the fuck? Is he really going to WSOF Wolf? Is he really going to WSOF Wolf? Who's going? I heard Mitch is going to the World. Who's Mitch? Oh, Jesus, goddamn Christ. This is why I booked a room in the fucking Bally's Hotel and Casino, because I'm not fucking leaving it. Unless I'm going to Fremont, I guess. Everybody's fine when they get in person, I would assume, but I would... What do I have a soundboard for? I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Let me see if I have that. I don't want to touch that. Let's see. That's not at all what I'm trying to do. They don't have it. How about that? Lighten the mood up. It kind of works. Ben needs a horn. Oh, well, luckily we have a gun, so we'll follow whatever Las Vegas rules are about that. And luckily, I lived there for 10 years, and so I know some people. So I happen to know people who still work at Bally's, and we'll be fine. Security-wise, we'll be fine. So. Someone comes after us, especially when they have a face, when they have facial recognition systems. The second they walk into that casino, I am protected. So I'm fine because I'm staying at Bally's. I'm just not going anywhere else. Isn't that weird that you have to do that? Fuck this, Chase. So stupid. See, and then why do y'all think like fucking, weird shit's happening, or like, the family doesn't want to say anything because of shit like this? Fucking lunatics. Meanwhile, everybody could just get along if everybody just got along. And that's what I invite everybody to do. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. Everybody get along. And all will be good.
underestimate my power.
It's goddamn right. What, is this all Aerosmith? I only have an Aerosmith. Let's do Frank Sinatra for Vegas. Okay. Oh, we were doing fucking Capro's video. I keep forgetting. All right, here we go.
Is the picture from when Forrest and Jack after it had been cleaned. These do not seem substantially different to me.
I don't want them to get that committed. It should not take over your life, and it has taken over at least one person's life, and that's not good. It's a hobby. Take it up and get what you can out of it. If you don't find the treasure, you're going to find a lot of. Your rewards going to come from every angle.
Wise
I always
words.
found this quote of Forrest odd. Several had lost their lives. Several had overstepped in making this treasure hunt too much of than just a hobby. We had discussed them over the years. But he here in November of 2019 discussed only one. Why? Was he referring to Jack? I figured out the location where he wished to die, and thus where the treasure was, back in 2018. But it took me many months to figure out the exact spot. Many months, or almost 2 years later, Jack. More evidence of a 2019 discovery. This probably is the most significant slip-up that Jack has ever given. He was asked by a searcher if you had arrived at the spot only to realize you weren't the first one there and the chest was gone. Would you answer this question the same way about keeping the place private? His answer was, I knew where it was, so if someone else found it, I wouldn't need to see a chest-sized depression to know where it was. I've thought about whether I would go on the internet and point out the evidence at the point, blah, blah, blah. Let's go back to the beginning of that response. I knew where it was, so if someone else found it, I wouldn't need to see a chest-sized.
I'm going to pause it before Kate. I have never heard this, so maybe I'm going to say what Kate was going to say, maybe not. I knew where it was. I'll enlarge this. I knew where it was, so if someone else found it, I wouldn't need to see a chest-sized depression to know where it was. That has got to be one of the most belligerent statements I feel as if Jack has made when you put it in conjunction with his other statements of, you know, without a chest there, I don't know that you can really know that you found the right spot. I knew where it was. I don't need a chest depression to know where it was. So if someone else found it, I mean, you're saying there's no chest there, but you still would know where it was. How?
Depression to know where it was. He's not saying he knew the general area. He's not saying he needed many, many more days. He knew where it was down to the exact spot. The chest-sized depression. This was shocking to me, and this was in responses of one of the Jack Gets Mail.
How?
The final location of the treasure chest, where that special spot to you?
That's up to the person that finds it, and if he says he doesn't want anybody to know in a million years, I would not tell anyone.
Do you mind if he does tell everyone?
It's his decision.
Okay, we've beat a dead horse. Let's now move into the second part.
Although I do remember a quote from some kind of world where Fenn asked somebody, does your solve take you to a 12 by 12 inch location? And if it doesn't, then you don't have it. So he's implying, I think, in that response that the solve from the poem should take you to a 12-inch spot. It should take you right to the blaze. Right? And that's what Jack's implying with, I knew the spot. Even without a chest-sized depression, my solve took me to a 12-inch spot. How does that work with doing 25 days of grid searching the same area? That doesn't make sense in so many astonishing, in an astonishing number of ways. That doesn't make sense.
The second part of this ending focuses around Jack and Forrest coming together on June 5th and the things immediately thereafter. So let's Discuss June 5th and 6th.
Is the blaze something that gives you the generic spot? Look quickly down your quest to seize. Like, is that the implication? That the blaze just gives you a location to actually go to, boots on the ground, so that hypothetically the blaze, if the blaze takes you to the spot, then the blaze isn't at the spot. I don't know if I buy that.
Friday night, Jack was in the park less than 90 minutes or so to get those pictures and go back and get explicit permission. That was pretty quick. He knew the exact spot by that time. Jack goes back to retrieve the treasure chest Saturday morning, calls Forrest, and is driving down to Santa Fe. Matt, smelled the sunshine, arrives at Forrest, not wearing his mask, where there was an explosion.
And remember, my Reddit source tells me he didn't even retrieve it on Saturday morning. He had it Friday night, and left Saturday morning directly to Santa Fe. Now, we can't validate or prove that, but that's what he's saying, because that's where the information dries up on my end.
And he was escorted out. Matt denied this publicly. However, this is outlined and validated in Dan Barbarisi's book. Saturday evening, Forrest announces via a number of email groups that the treasure chest has been found. Cynthia receives the name Friend Group email, with one of the daughters responding, "What? Is this real?" On June 6th,
Was the West Gate
obvious
open?
that Forrest
After
had
June
not
1,
included
yeah.
his family in the announcement, nor key searchers. Dale was shocked. Cynthia was shocked. We all were. Forrest was alone, and in my opinion, he was protecting his family. He knew things would be very challenging very quickly. So Jack discovers again the treasure chest on Friday the 5th and gets explicit permission from Forrest. On the 6th, he recovers the chest and heads to Santa Fe. By Monday, the lawsuits get filed, and Forrest must protect himself. The rules were laid down. The treasure chest must never be at Forrest's home, and Forrest must document the solve, in which he would archive it prior to meeting Jack. So Jack must wait. He waits many days until he actually gets to meet Forrest. As Jack has noted, there's no legal precedence for this treasure chest, and the discovery and the find. The finder has already left searchers to die and get arrested, and all the other mayhem between 2019 and 2020. Things have gone to a very unique situation.
Under the assumption he found it in 20.
4 days later, in a lawyer's office, Jack and Forrest finally meet. It was awkward, and the pictures are very telling. The treasure chest, to me, is not dramatically different between in situ and what was presented to Forrest, contrary to Jack's own words. So many stories were exchanged in that meeting. Jack shares with Forrest that he marked over 1,000 trees. And here's a quote from one of the public medium articles with Jack. "I think my issue in 2018 was I didn't know what blaze I was looking for, and I wasn't systematic enough. I fixed those before the 2019 search season. But the limiting factor..."
He didn't come from Eastgate. Let's go for a walk. He was always at Westgate.
Forces of nature had probably damaged or destroyed it at some point before I got there.
Hold up. Bavetta says, back up a slide. Forrest must document the solve, which would be archived. This one. The treasure chest must never be at Forrest's home, and Forrest must document the solve, which would be archived prior to meeting Jack. Meaning Fenn would be on record, I guess, on camera, saying what the solve is before meeting Jack, so that when they get Jack's version of the solve, it either corroborates Fenn's or it goes against Fenn's. But because they filmed this before Fenn meets Jack, it's on record. So therefore, Jack better come in with the right solve, because now they've gotten it on camera. This would say that Jack had the right solve. Hypothetically speaking, of course.
So back to the meeting where
Or didn't, and then further discussions were had.
Jack finds out about the scissors and string.
Where were we? Shit.
I would not.
I jumped too
So
far.
we
Here
did
we
need
go.
to take a more systematic medium articles with Jack. I think my issue in 2018 was I didn't know what blaze I was looking for, and I wasn't systematic enough. I fixed those before the 2019 search season. But the limiting factor after was deciding that because I couldn't find the blaze I was looking for, forces of nature had probably damaged or destroyed it at some point before I got there. So he did need to take a more systematic approach in 2019 when he finally discovered the treasure.
Bracelet in a pool game. So I told myself, you know, if I put that bracelet in this treasure chest, that's part of me. And that was the last thing I put in. I closed the lid and I said, yeah, that's okay. I'm part of the thing from now on.
Anyway, about the bracelet.
Forrest said he put hair in the olive jar. That's a part of that's a part of him going in the chest. But because the bracelet's in there, now a part of him is in the chest. This doesn't make any sense.
But do you still want the bracelet back?
Sure, it's a $350 bracelet. It's the only cheap thing in there. And it's the only silver piece. I mean, everything else is gold, and here's a silver bracelet.
Again, let's go for a walk. June 1, apparently. June 1, 2020.
Piece of rock, like an emerald or something. But sure, I mean, I'd like to have that thing back. Okay. But I think a lot of it depends on how it comes back, too.
Pavetta, I think he cleaned up those markings the night of the 5th, Friday night. All night Friday.
So I don't want to get it in the mail. I'd like for some people that finds a treasure, I would like for him to hand it to me and let's talk about it and warm up to it a little bit. I mean, it can get very abstract if you're not careful.
The bracelet story definitely gets abstract. That's a discussion for another
This chair
day.
feels like it's falling apart.
So back to the meeting where Jack finds out about the
I can
scissors
feel
and
it.
string.
Like,
Here's a question from a searcher. What was the purpose of the scissors inside the treasure chest? Jack responds, Forrest did not know how those ended up in there. Well, did you answer the question? Do you know the purpose?
Forrest said if. What do you mean? What did you say if to? It's hard for me to do this full screen because then I can't see the chat. If I do it like this, then I can see the chat. What do you mean Forrest said if? I don't want to rewind it. That's annoying. So Jack cleaned up all this. Oh, I already got there. Okay.
And did you discuss that with Forrest? I think so, since he discussed it with the searcher after the find. Let's discuss. Forrest told me he ran a line when I visited him 8/28/2020, 10 days before he died. Not that.
Wouldn't she say 2020?
He said he keeps
right?
it in the top right drawer of his desk.
Cynthia saying the year.
It as the
No, it's
feed
not funny.
fishing line.
Fuck you.
Another person who clarified my misnomer also has seen it in person in the drawer when Forrest told him his story of the day when he hid the treasure. I hope this all comes out someday by the family because it is truly a remarkable story for an 80-year-old man to have pulled it off. Cynthia then posts on a different day, I need to make a clarification about this past week's visit to Santa Fe. I think I previously referred to the 150-foot string/line that Forrest used when he hid the chest, making 2 trips and using this line so he could find the spot the second trip as lining. It was backing. K-Pro and I are not fishing people. The guy is, and explained there's a leader and the line.
How long would it take to clean up 1,000 marks? Depends if you're cleaning up as you go or all. I mean, I would assume you cleaned up as you
don't give a
went.
rat's ass what it is. What matters is the length. In other words, only 150 feet from the river's edge, or wherever Forrest Fenn tied that string to when he walked into the forest, 150 feet. The Wet Creek and Island are wrong. I went and Googled it, and here are the elements of fly fishing in the setup of the line or string. I'm not sure of the exact nomenclature, but you can see here the leader, the tippet, the fish line, and the backing. Fits exactly from the story we were told. Other topics at this meeting and what happens next. Jack questions the inventory of the contents. Where is the frog and the emerald ring?
Right.
He does head to Forrest's home before he leaves and heads home to Puerto Rico.
So Jack met him in the office and went to his house. He goes
Section
to Puerto
3
Rico.
of the Part 2 video, The Aftermath. The chess game begins.
I'm trying to see if that's like a legit chess game. That doesn't make any sense. The way the rook was.
Jack has left for Puerto Rico. Forrest asked Jack to visit. He even asked him to move to Santa Fe. We already knew he moved all the way to Puerto Rico over this treasure chest. Jack says that's not possible. But Capro, Cynthia, and Matt all have separate visits with Forrest after the find, but before his passing. During Cynthia's visit, she gets information on the string. She asked to see the bracelet, and Forrest said he can't talk about that.
Aha.
Forrest asked Cynthia to be patient.
Good.
During Capro's visit,
No bracelet.
No bracelet is seen. And Forrest asked Capro to be patient.
Bracelet was the most important thing in the damn book.
Engage with searchers. You gave a couple of good examples. You're hearing some inspiring stories.
Oh, do I engage with them? That's the only thing I have left.
I believe Forrest was going to make things right. We had discussed him wanting to give an interview. He asked for all of us to be patient for so long, but he said now it's time. He promised he would give all the answers. He said this was except the 9 clues and the final location. Everything else was on the table. Questions were being generated, and Forrest wanted us as searchers to have closure.
J.B. Cooper.
That was within his control, and he was going to do right by us. This interview was scheduled for the weekend after the Fenn finale. All the questions that had been provided to Forrest as feelers to ensure we were preparing properly were all accepted. Forrest passes away the day after the Fenn finale, 4 days before the interview was scheduled to take place. So where in the process is the treasure chest sale now? Here's a post recently from Cynthia. The latest update I got from this past weekend is that all the items are being appraised individually by groups specific to the item. In other words, the group appraising the old jewelry, like the dragon bracelet, are not the same as the people appraising the coins. Apparently, the coins are the most difficult to appraise.
Who's telling her all this? Like, I get it, Cynthia, but like, I don't know, it's just like.
Will be a live auction, maybe as soon as next month. In my opinion, it would be awesome if the chest and contents are sold piecemeal, as is currently most likely. Could a billionaire step in prior to that and buy the chest and contents in its entirety? I don't know.
Could a millionaire?
And I will say, thank goodness for Heritage. Other auction houses didn't want a part of this mess.
Tell them out in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are never what they seem. I see myself as an interested observer at this point. Back then.
Things are never what they
Coming
seem.
soon?
I'm an interested observer.
There's definitely more to reveal, but the World Series of Fenn and the treasure chest sale may take a priority, but we're still determining next steps. There's still a lot of this chase that needs closure, but it seems.
All right. Well, all right. At least we did what we intended to do. Finally, 3.5 hours in. So there you go. I think that's that. I want some kind of like good music to go out with though for a minute or two. Like, what the fuck? What should we do? Oh, I know what should we do. Back? No, how does that not come up right away? Oh, this one. Yeah, that's a good one. Burn the book. Any last words, chat? I'll read them out loud. We'll do like lightning round. Gak did not defeat all his believers. I don't know what you're talking about. Fenn was an eccentric billionaire. I definitely think he was richer than most thought. I'm not going to say a billionaire, but he was certainly, I think he was more well off than people thought. Maybe I'm wrong. That's my guess. Educated. Seems like Jack didn't have enough time to. No, I don't think that he left all these markers there, dude. I think he picked up as he went along, and maybe he forgot one or two along the way, but that's it. So I don't think he left like that big of a trace. I wish everyone would lay it out on the table. I think they're trying to. I mean, sure, you got K-Pro and Candy working together. What does that tell you right now, after everything that's gone down? People just coming together. They're trying to, at least, if Jack's not going to tell us, we'll figure it out. But anyway, it's looking more nefarious. I don't know. It's going to be World Series of Fenn time. I'm probably not going to go live too often between now and Fenn because there's really not much else to talk about until something else comes out. Who the fuck knows? But we've talked about Jack doing a lot of things. Jack said he was going to sue, so we'll see. I would assume I'll be back. At least, what are we going to do? Today's Sunday. Jesus Christ, it's less than 2 weeks to World Series of Fenn. All right. Yeah, we'll go live like twice before then. I don't know. Maybe we go to Nixon, Nevada, but what do you think? It's going to be 60 degrees. No snow. We got to get there before others do. Quick little stop. Little jaunt. Or whatever. All right, we'll talk about that offline. All right, peace out. I'm going to Nixon.